What up?
I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
Coach,
yeah.
Where you at, man? In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Moran.
Darnell is the Ball State legend. I'm the Warren Central High School legend.
I'm proving with a reliable source, straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to Yost.
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
Better stay in your lane. Hop is
You are fucking insane. Dude, what? You just will not give this guy his flowers. What is wrong with you?
Oh, you must have thought I was a bitch.
I am him. Use not it. What's the topic? With your logic when I flow. Big Komodo, how it's talking.
Gotta get back to letting the baby cry a little bit to see if they can soothe themselves.
That's a bar.
Issues get pressed so fast it don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
I identified him after his third fight and I said that guy should be a star.
I'm so proud of the show, bro.
The gap. Smitty and Jason Brown.
Coach JB show.
What up? We are in the building. It is Truth Telling Thursday, and we have one of the most loaded lineups we've had all season. The new season, that is. We got Matt McChesney joining us, Steve Kim, of course, our NFL quarterback extraordinaire, Shaun King, plus our main man, Achilles from Live Golf, Drunk by the Turn. He'll be walking with my main man, Pat Perez, and the Four Aces live as they tee it up. Right around the time he calls us in Miami at the Doral Trump course. The Live is teeing it up at about 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Achilles will call in and we'll do a live walk with the guys. DJ Patrick Reid, and my boy Werner. We're going to do all that live, so it'll be a fun show. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member if you're not one already. And if you're a bettor, go on over to Winnable right now, winnable.com/slappicks, as we make a free pick every day. Plus, we have now our paid option, which is called
First Down.
So check that out. And I went 75% last night, 3 for 4. And guess who fucked me? The Bucks. Losers of back-to-back games, which we said yesterday on this show they just could not afford to do, and they lose to two teams under 500 when they were both favored by 12 points or more. First team in NBA history to be favored by 12 points 2 days in a row and to lose game outright. The Bucks are in serious problem zones, and Doc Rivers showing you what he is. We're going to dive into all that plus some more, but first of all, let's get into this Truth Telling Thursday. Make sure you download the Discord app, find Slap Nation, or just go straight to winnable.com/slappicks. It'll take you to our Discord if you're a paying member. We got a super loaded show. Matt McChesney, Steve Kim, Shaun King, and our Live Golf extraordinary Achilles, Drunk by the Turn, joins us live from Miami, as I said, on the realest show on Planet ERF. We'll talk some NFL mock quarterback drafts. Caleb Williams showed up to Chicago to take a tour. We're going to dive into that and talk about that. But first of all, let me start the show off by saying addition by subtraction is always a real topic on this show. As I lead off this epic show that will be today, Buffalo got better. Houston just got cancer. Let that sink in. I hope and pray that this isn't a distraction in Houston for CJ's growth, Tank's progress, along with the nucleus that seems to be super tightly knitted in Houston that organization has put together. I want to break down a debate yesterday that Smitty and I had, plus everyone else that disagrees with me. 2021 Stefan Diggs had 2 games in the playoffs, 6 receptions, 10 targets, 67 yards, 0 touchdowns. 2022, he had 11 receptions, 19 targets, 149 yards, 0 touchdowns. 2023, he had 2 games, 10 receptions, 17 targets, 73 yards, and 0 touchdowns. The Minneapolis Miracle that Smitty brought up yesterday and everyone always seems to go back to was January of 2018. That was fucking forever ago. You guys all talk about what's happening right now. I'm the one that always goes back in time. This time it's flipped. 6 years ago. Going on 7 years ago. Stefan Diggs has passed his prime. His peak has came and gone. He is on the downside of a career. And when you're on the downside of a career and hasn't done anything in the playoffs in the last 4 years, there's a problem, Houston. Figuratively and literally. We have a problem, Houston, and it means a cancer is joining your organization because he's not the same Stefan Diggs. Although, Smitty's point, yes, he has had 6,000-yard receiving seasons in a row. Kudos to him. Josh Allen and him have been the number 1 receiving quarterback duo in the NFL regarding yards, catches, and touchdowns. Cool. That's regular season stats. To be a shitbird, you have to be different in the playoffs. Big players make big plays in big games. He does not. So I hope and pray that C.J. Stroud and Houston nip it in the bud, as Big Smitty said, and they get to the bottom of this, and it ends up being a benefit, not a distraction. Let's get into the show. Stefan Diggs to the Texans yesterday. We already saw that. We just discussed it. We'll dive into it a little bit more. LeBron James says there's not much different between the men's and the women's college game. Very ironic to hear him say that. Dive into that one with Smitty. Colorado and Coach Sanders' second season begins spring ball as Big Matt McChesney will join us to discuss. Rashee Rice faces suspension from the NFL plus jail time. The Pistons' Malachi Flynn drops a 50-burger off the bench, and Mark Jackson isn't overexcited about it. Patrick Mahomes' father faces 10 years in prison, and the Kelseys to start a Kardashian-style reality TV series. Jesus, help us all. Seems like the Kansas City Chiefs, more credit should be given to Andy Reid. We'll dive into that. But before we begin, my wonderful co-host, self-esteemed Ball State legend and Naptown's finest, 317's Far East Side great, AR5 defending, Lamar Jackson loving, LeBron hairline having, Fox Sports' very own, my main man from the quiet, low decibel tundra, Big Smitty.
What's going on, y'all? Good morning, good morning, good morning. We here, man. Thursday. I want to tell y'all this. I was sleeping so dang good this morning. I was in the bed, and I was really considering, like, do I want to get up and do this show today? Do I really want to get up and do this show today? Or do I want to continue to lay down, relax in my big, comfortable California king-size bed, spread out, stretched out, warm, etc.? And I say, you know what type of co-host would I be? What type of talent, what type of entertainer would I be to not only let down my co-host and my partner down in JB, but to let down you amazing fans? I couldn't do it, so I'm here. It's Thursday. We have a loaded show, man. JB, how you doing?
Baby, I don't know if you could find something for me. Back in the day, 92.3 The Beat had a very popular, he was popular with the ladies. He was popular in LA. He had a show that was at night at one point and then went to the morning show. Him and Big Boy, that's still popular, were the two popular radio jockeys, I guess, in LA. His name was Theo. Everybody thought he was a brother until they finally started realizing who Theo was. Theo was an Asian dude. He sounds exactly like Smitty when he comes into the show, since his eviction notice has been handed to him and slid under the door. Then he had to move the stick, get the stick out the way. Then the letter came all the way through, and then he put the stick back down. So then he can't get in the house, but you can send the eviction letter through the door, but you can't get in the house to break in the house. So he has to always get up, lift the stick. It's in the hood. That's what hood shit is.
Yeah.
We had to put them in the windows. We had to put
Squatters.
doors, windows. Yeah. So Theo, if anyone in LA is in this chat, remembers Theo, is quite alarming.
I mean, the lady said
quite alarming similarities.
The ladies said they liked his voice. They told me that within the ladies of the show, of course, said they liked his voice. It's kind of like slower, masculine. It's kind of sexy. And this is what they told me. So there's a few benefits in me talking more in a calm and cool, collected manner, and it allows me to get my thoughts together in a proper manner. Because sometimes you get me pissed off, and I just start spazzing out, and I start just saying a whole bunch of stuff. This allows me to really take my time, take a deep breath, and really go into my approach in a more direct, efficient manner.
We may have a little. Let you hear what it sounds like.
Yo, rock the halves. KD rock the halves.
We don't have Theo's voice though, huh? That was his show, but his voice particularly sounds like Smitty. You got to hear Theo's voice. It's funny.
Theo Vaughn.
To a big show today, Smitty. We have a loaded lineup. 4 major guests coming on back to back. We got live from the Doral Trump Golf Course in Miami as my main man Pat. The 4 aces will be live. Our main man Achille will be walking with them, and we'll be live on the show with the 4 aces. And as they tee off, DJ Patrick Reid, 4 major big-time ball strikers, no pause needed. Yeah, so we got all that. We got all that going on, and I'm going to rock the 4 aces when they come on. And it's going to be a loaded show, Smitty. Loaded show.
I can't wait.
We got this first 30 minutes alone, so I'm gonna try to get you, riled up, piss you off as much as I possibly can in the first 30 minutes, because I won't really talk to you the rest of the show.
Right. So let's try to get through the entire show, every single segment, hell yeah, hell no, Jabrown, everything in the first 30, 40 minutes right now. And then once the guests come, we'll sit back and let them take over. Sound good?
Everything. I want to do everything the whole time, that first 30 minutes.
I want the fans to be so excited in the first 40 minutes they can't leave.
Let's get you started with the quote of the day, brought to you by betonline.ag. What up, man? The real Coach AB here for the Coach AB Show with Big Smitty. We got a proud new sponsor, of course, for the second part of the year, and that's BetOnline. Continue to be your number one source for all basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. March Madness is here. Join us every Monday and Friday with Jeff Nadu as we will pick them and up to minute odds, stats, and trends. You can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop to your mobile device. Head on over to BetOnline today. Become part of the team, and remember to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for 50% off plus welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online where the game starts. Peace. Quote of the day brought to you by Bet Online. The only way to get over a death is by seeing it as a life completed instead of a life interrupted. Only reason I say that is because tomorrow I'll be a pallbearer for one of my lifelong homeboys I grew up with in Compton. I'll be there tomorrow morning. That's why we will not have a show tomorrow. Just FYI. Smitty will be working, though. He'll be finding us a studio that I had to do yesterday, and I found all the right places, and it just ended up being a wasted day for me. But I got some sushi, AE. We ate some sushi. So AE wanted me to start the show off by saying certain things. Smitty got to talk to her and listen to what she had to say because she tries to mimic my voice and say shit that I say. We went to go look at this particular place. The guy that was showing me actually knew me. He was a junior college student currently. So he was like, oh, man, I'm a fan. It was a cool deal. He showed us some great places. Very cheap, too, for the property that they were in. Oh, my goodness. They were lovely. And I said, you know what, AE, can you go downstairs and make sure the car's all right? We parked in the alley. And I didn't want my $100,000 Beamer to get, stolen, scratched, towed.
Did it get stolen?
There was a $70 ticket on it already within 6 minutes.
Jeez.
And apparently some people gave her a hard time, talked some shit. So when I heard that, I went down there. It took me a minute. Well, I get down there. There's no car in the alley. So the service is very bad in that area. So I'm like, fuck, was she trying to call me? What's going on? So I call her. She's like, I had to drive away. So she smashes, drives around. This is the younger generation, y'all age. What happens is you depend on this shit right here so much that if something's wrong, there's no service. She literally drove my car around downtown LA, and it's a lot of one-ways, as you know. She couldn't get back to me for quite some time. I won't exaggerate the time, but it was quite some time. And so I was like, what the fuck, where you at? I said, you guys need to learn how to fucking read maps. Your fucking generation is unbelievably fucking y'all can coach in the NFL, though, but you can't read a map. So here's the thing. Drove around, fucking couldn't get it done. So I drive back through the alley looking for the dudes that were talking shit to her. Of course, that's just me. Of course they weren't there.
So hold on. So it sounds like you were actually trying to defend your AE. It might be a little bit more serious than what we thought, chat.
No. I would defend you. I would defend.
I'm your brother, though. I'm supposed to be your dog.
First of all, I'm a hypocrite in this, right? I'm gonna tell you right now. Anybody that cusses around a woman that they don't know. What?
Keep going.
Anybody that cusses around a woman that they don't know I take it as disrespect. So I want to go back and confront that person. Now I did say I'm a hypocrite because I'll cuss in front of a woman I don't know, but she has to really piss me off. This is a different situation. She's just coming strictly to get my car to move it, and they're like, about fucking time. You just blocking everybody's shit, talking shit. So that is the true bitch in this whole thing. The dude that talks to a woman that they don't know, cussing at him out of the gate. Now, I cuss at a woman talking shit if she gets me riled up talking shit to me, not just straight out the gate. If you brought over a female, hey, what up, motherfucker? Shit, are you fucking shitty? Like, I don't never do that. So that's why. But I did give you a disclaimer. I said I'm a hypocrite at times, but you have to start it. Starting none won't be none. But anyway,
don't go driving around looking for them next time. Not without me. Downtown, you ain't. I used to live downtown, so I understand the area a little bit better than you. You're not really familiar with them. You can't be driving around looking for people downtown. That's how you get shot up. So
it's funny. It's funny we start the shows off with shit that just is like a segue. I don't know if I know they call me JB Novice and I'm Nostradamus' little brother JB. But here, contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over there. By the way, I won 5 out of 6 last night. God, I would have won $500. I ended up winning $30. So anyway, but I'm winning though. I'm telling you, come on over to Winnable. We're gonna have some Brandon Lang, Jeff Nadu. We're gonna have a player from every single sport, from hockey to Major League Baseball to NFL and UFL. We'll be making UFL picks this weekend. Winnable. Come over there and get you something. It's $50 a week or $100 a month. So obviously, $100 a month, you're saving $100.
Come on now, pretty simple.
All right. Contrary to belief, harsh reality about relationships, Smitty. You ready for this? Contrary to belief,
I'm ready for it.
Every girl you've ever been with, ever loved, ever respected, would melt in someone else's hands if they had some status, if they would message her to give her everything you used to give or don't give her now. And she'd do things that you couldn't imagine. She'd do things you couldn't fucking imagine with that other person. And contrary to belief, oh my goodness. Contrary to belief, you would say, nah, my girl different, dog. Trust me, she ain't. Girls get wet. All the ladies in the chat, please tell Smitty I'm right. If you abandoned your girl, if you neglect her, if you don't fucking do whatever, roses on Friday, rubber feet on Saturday, if you neglect her and a dude slides in her DM saying that they want to do all these things, she will melt in their hands and she will do unimaginable things to that man, and you could not imagine it. Contrary to belief.
Why are you leading with if you neglect her, if you stop being a man, if you stop doing what you're supposed to do for, like, that's any relationship. If a coach stopped coaching me on the football field and he's not getting me better, I'm gonna transfer. If my homie stops being loyal and starts to do this and that, like, come on, bro. Like,
thank you, Jada. Keep it 100. That's
sure,
real.
but that's not even like, yeah. If a woman stops being good to me and stop doing what she's supposed to do for me, then I'm gonna cut out. What's the point of being in a relationship if you're not doing what you're supposed to do for a relationship? That's like, duh. That's crazy.
We don't have a lot of time to talk about.
We got a lot of time. We got a lot of time. It's our show.
I would love to talk about this for a longer period of time, but let's be real. There's a straight fundamental difference in this whole thing. Men are hunters for a reason. Females are the hunted for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Women love to be hunted. They love to be told they're good at something. They love to be told they're beautiful. They love to be told this. They love to be told that.
Right.
As long as they continue to get that, you got a shot at it. But when you stop doing it for just one day and a motherfucker slide in her DM, boy, she's gonna melt. She's gonna melt because it's a new thing, and she loves to be hunted. And all of us, all humans, love to be told and love to be
complimented.
Yeah, love to be wanted. It's good to be wanted. Feels
100%.
good to be wanted, right?
100%.
I'm just telling you, though. Don't get caught. Don't. That's why I didn't allow slippers. That's why I didn't let my players wear slippers. Slippers don't count.
This dude JB said you can't mess up one day as a man. You can't spend one day.
They ain't loyal. They ain't not loyal, dog.
One day where you don't give them some flowers or you don't buy them shoes, give them a comment. One day miss, it's over.
You know that dogs don't have a grasp of time. They have no concept of time. So, like, if you left the house and you left them at the house and I went shopping, I was there. Let's say I was gone 15 minutes. I came back. My dogs act the exact same way as if they act if I'm gone for 10 hours like I was yesterday. They don't have a concept of time. They don't realize that you were gone that long. They don't know. That is why the dog is created as the most loyal creature on planet Earth. That's why dogs are loyal and have no... You could hit a dog if he does something wrong or discipline him. Hopefully you don't beat the dog. You could discipline the dog. You rub a nose in it. You could do other things. They are never going to disown their owner. Doesn't matter what you do to them.
Why you bring up a dog right now?
Because they're the most loyal creature on earth.
Yeah, but you can't have sex with that dog. You can't talk to that dog and they're going to talk back. You can't.
Mic drop, though, I'm about to give you.
Okay,
they don't really have they have no regard for time. They have no idea that you left for 15 minutes or 15 hours. You leave a girl for 15 minutes without telling her something, she is on to the next. She is on to the next. If you don't bring her roses tomorrow and rub her feet and give her she is gone. Deuces. I'm to the next. Dogs.
JB had a real bad experience. JB is scarred. JB is scarred, y'all.
30 days. There's been dogs that came back 6 years later. There's documentation. And they saw the owner as if it was gone yesterday.
What does that mean, though?
Leaving your girl. You know how many homies go to jail to the pen and they got a girl? Straight up, their girl. They got a baby together. Go to jail. This bitch fucking everybody. This motherfucker been locked up for 6 weeks. It's a wrap. It's over, Smitty. She fucking everybody. She needs that attention. Hunted. She wants to be hunted. The hunter's in jail.
JB, I'm going to say this, man. I'm not saying you wrong. I just say that you getting with the wrong women. That's what I would say. If your woman, if your woman gonna leave you in 15 minutes, that means she didn't value you to begin with. That means you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a man to begin with. If it takes 15 minutes for her to change her mind, make another decision, that's my opinion. That's just me keeping it funky. That means you're not as player and pimp as you thought you was, JB. If a woman gonna leave you in 15 minutes, number one. Number two, a dog is good for what a dog does. A dog ain't even in the same category as a woman. So I don't know why we even bringing a dog to a situation, because what a woman can provide me, a dog can't give me nothing that the woman can provide. A dog is just a cool little pet to fucking just be there and pet and love and shit like that.
No.
The dog don't.
Fact of loyalty. That's all I was bringing up. I'm just telling you how quick it is. And a man by nature is a cheater, in my opinion. I've never cheated on anyone that I've been with or significant with. I've never done it. I believe karma is a real thing. But having said that, a woman wants to be hunted and a man wants to hunt. Yeah. And there's a real thing in there. There's a real thing in there.
They called discipline too.
It is. I don't think you have that.
I'm very disciplined, very locked in.
You're too young to be that disciplined in that part of the world.
That's your experience. I mean, that's your opinion, but don't put your own insecurities upon me, JB. Because what you did when you was 30, maybe that's what you did, but I'm 30 and I'm different.
I'm not insecure about nothing. Hey, Bailey, do you have that video I sent you? I want to show you something, Smitty, real quick. I want everybody in there to know. I want you all to know, women out here, what men have to do to, I guess, make you feel good. Don't you love it when I'm like, why you put all that shit in your lips? Why do your lips look like 2 fucking Goodyear tires? Why do you have to have that fake ass? Why do you need those fake titties? I want to you. It's for me. It's for me, baby. It's for me. No, it's not for you. Stop. Miss me with that shit. What do guys do? What do guys do for them to make them better? Like, here's what they do.
Inject your penis. We use this. But first, we need to take your blood with this. And some people want an extra oomph. And that means we're taking your bone marrow with this. Once injected, the procedure isn't that uncomfortable. I've had it done. And it stimulates blood flow and new blood vessels to be built over time in your penis. And that's what gives you your results. But results means it goes looking like this to this. If you want to learn more, ask me your questions.
JB, you might want to look into that, brother. I know you about to be pushing 50. You're a white man. He a white man. No judgment at all. It might be beneficial for you to go ahead and get a little bone marrow transfer, to get the blood flow going. I'm sure things ain't working the way they used to work. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay. That comes with age. It's regular stuff.
I got no problem. And my shit sound like this. It still sound like that. I got no problem. Do you see like I said, you want your dick to be bigger. You need this. That motherfucker was a needle. Like, where is he sticking that needle in? My pee hole?
The shaft.
Hell, that's one thing that shit right there gets you. You know that bite we get from certain shit?
Yeah.
That's that bite, right? Oh shit, nah.
I just kind of felt it subconsciously just by just thinking about like a needle going into your penis. Oh, that sounds crazy.
And you know what it is? The little dick syndrome people out here in the world, I call it small dick syndrome. That's a real thing. The motherfucker probably got like, well, I found out when I was talking and discussing when we were showing a couple before you came on the show, the Deshaun Watson micro penis situation that we discussed. These motherfuckers will go from like a 2-inch dick to what, a 3-inch? Well, that motherfucker act like they going from fucking that to that motherfucker ain't going. That needle going. What is a needle? The needle's God now? Come on, man. You're either gifted or cursed. It is what it is. You gotta live with it. You gotta live with it, dog. You're gifted or you're cursed. Period.
A lot of women say size don't matter. Some of them, because listen, I've had women have said you only need about, I think it's like 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think women say you only need about 3.5 inches in length for you to really hit the spot that you need to hit for them. So what's more important for the motion in the ocean, for all my little penis fellas, it's not over for you. If you know how to get the motion going and the hips going, you know how to hit the certain spots, your 3.5 boy might be able to get the job done.
Listen, we all know my shit's only 8 inches around. But listen,
anybody who got to brag about their stuff all the time,
let's be real though.
Let you know.
Let's be real. Women are lying to you. They want size. Stop. If they tell you, if you pull your shit out and your shit is, they'll laugh you out of the building.
Some women say too big, it hurts them though.
That might be true, but too small is no go. Is no bad juju. Let women, please let everybody know. Women in the chat, please.
Ain't no we got 2 women on the whole show. We ain't really got 2 others.
Lucy, whoever else in here, let them know.
That's all we got.
There'll be more in later.
Hey, all the haters in the show, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for tuning in. I love y'all, man. Keep talking crazy. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Who talking?
Don't worry about it. I love it. Keep going.
Do you love this?
Who's gonna marry you, Haranam? Like, you have a beard. No one's gonna date you, Haranam. You have a beard. No one's gonna be your boyfriend, Haranam. You have a beard. You are not a preference to a lot of men. And then I'll get like really feminine men message me, but that's not who I'm attracted to. You know, I like really masculine men because I am very soft. I'm so different to what you see like on TV. You know, on TV.
I've never seen you on TV.
Probably not. But no, generally you'll see, oh, she's strong. She's, you know, what she's talking about is very powerful. Whatever people say. But then at home, I'm very quiet. You know, I'm very feminine. I'm very soft. People don't get to see that side of me. You know. But no, it has been difficult. Where I wanted to be married and have kids, I would never be a single mom. That's not what I've ever wanted.
It's the music. They make like this some real deep shit. Like she really going through hell right now. Let me ask you this: do you think if she cut her beard, she would be bad though? Like she washed the makeup off her eyes and cut that beard, she would be like a baddie.
Now this is a bitch that has not a fucking clue in the world on which we live in.
This is a what?
Just a bitch that she should be called a bitch. I don't call women bitches on this show. A lot of people know I call men bitches because men are the ones that are bitches. Females aren't. But this one right here is a bitch because keep drinking that drink because this is the thing. She literally said she wants a man's man as she rocks a full-on Hamas. Are you fucking kidding me? She wants a man's man, Smitty, because when she goes home and combs her motherfucking beard back, she's feminine. I told myself I wouldn't even bring it up because I don't even want to give this fucking bitch any credit or airtime. But god damn it, dog. Are we literally in the worst mental health crisis on planet Earth? Because that's a mental health problem. Like that's not.
Is it her fault that she has a beard though, Jay? You can't control like you got a beard. That's
a foreign beard. Rick Ross around this motherfucker. What are you talking about? That bitch fucking. You act like the bitch just woke up. The hair's grown out. What is she, fucking werewolf?
I'm saying the fact that she can grow that ain't her fault. Like this. Look, this is me.
First of all,
this all
A said women can't grow hair like that unless it's something weird. So she thinks it's glued on. On top of that, she thinks it's glued on. That's even fucking worse. You're even a worse weirdo ass fucking.
She could be in an anomaly though. I mean, nothing is 100%. Nothing is, you know what I'm saying? So
you know what anomaly is called? A fucking man. That's a man. Just be a man, homie. Anyway, can we get to the show?
Let's do it.
Whole question.
Hey, hold on real quick. Look, last night, Smitty is still young and doesn't understand the evil in female nature. Coach JB is right. Women only love their kids. You are temporary, Smitty. You'll see. Damn, he wishing on my downfall. He's hoping that my wife cheats on me and leaves me.
Putting death on your life, as I used to say, life on your death. I put life on Smitty's death. Smitty put death on my life.
Nah, see,
I taught him though. I taught him the difference that agape love, but he don't want to listen.
It was agape. He had the L in there. JB, that problem is you have a whole tribe of followers and stuff. So as soon as you say something, they all got their JB armor on and they ready for war.
You got a whole new followers.
I ain't got no army in here. I got a few people who show love. But you got an army. Like you could start a war if you wanted to. You got that type of power.
I've been doing it 4 years.
You can start I'm saying you can start a war though. I'm saying like these people, like if you said everybody, hey, let's meet up downtown LA, let's go rob every store, let's go. They would do it. They really love you. They rock with me. They really will kill for you. They crazy in this chat.
Poll question. Drop it in the chat. Who won the Diggs trade, Smitty? Go.
I gotta go with Texas right now, but I understand why you're asking this question, and it's not as easy of an answer as y'all think. But right now, I say the Texans. I just think at the end of the day, you're gonna deal with some bad person. What's going on with them? You're gonna deal with some bad personalities. You're gonna deal with some locker room guys, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, you can't teach talent and certain skill sets, and I can't think of too many really good to great teams who went to Super Bowls, won Super Bowls, went to AFC, NFC championships, who didn't have, some superstar wide receiver. I mean, again, there's some examples, of course, but there's so many more examples of teams who got star receivers, and a lot of them are divas. That's just kind of what the position is. You know what I'm saying? So I know we're thinking Stefan Diggs is a diva based upon what we saw, what we've seen, but I just think you put him in that locker room with CJ Stroud, who's young, but he's confident. He's a guy who's going to speak his mind. He's not going to be afraid. You got D'Amico Ryan, who's a man's man, a leader, a guy who people respect. I just think they'll figure it out. Whatever issues that it could be, I think they'll be able to figure it out. So I say Texans, man.
Yeah, I'm clear. I truly started the show off with this topic. I think the Buffalo Bills got better. I think Houston just caught cancer. And that's what's unfortunate. Now, that's right now, in my opinion. It could change. Maybe he goes in there. D'Amico gets him straight. He's around a great young nucleus that just ain't going to play that. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. All we can do is making a judgmental opinion right now. Time will tell. But the last 4 years for sure has shown me who you are. And then prior to that, we already saw who he was in Minnesota. It's not like it just came out of the blue that this kid was a shitbird. It didn't just come out of nowhere. It wasn't like people just started saying, oh, he's a shitbird because he was pouted one time coming off the field because he didn't catch the ball when he was open. That's not the case. This is a pattern, and a pattern shows you what you are, not what you say you are. He has shown us who he is, and he's Draymond Green. I'm tired of hearing him talk about it. Show me, and he's yet to do that. He keeps doing the same shit over and over and expects a different result, which we all know is the definition of insanity. So I don't believe he has gone and made any strides. I think he's going to be a fake-ass good boy to start the season, of course, because he knows that everyone's looking at him because of the shitbird tag a lot of people have put on him. So he's going to be straight and narrow, looks good. That's all shitbirds are. That's how they all come into camp. Especially, Smitty, if I took a transfer or a kid that got cut, that motherfucker's coming in saying everything right. Oh, coach, I'm not. And then 2 nights later, motherfucker Rob McDonald's. That's what they are. It's just they can't get out their own way. This is who they are. And I don't want to hear what you have to say. And I used to shut the door on motherfuckers that just came in the office new, telling me how good they're going to be and all this. Shut the fuck up. And we'll see at 5 a.m. tomorrow, motherfucking wait. That'll test your first character. Okay. See, if I was D'Amico Ryan, I would test his will right out the fucking gate. Whatever the fuck you're doing in phase 1 there in Houston right now, which they are, in the NFL that do phases. So they'll assess what they have. They'll start the weight off-season conditioning program, see what their shape they're in, what they need to get to. They'll test. They'll do all these different things. They'll have OTAs later. They'll have mandatory mini camp, and they'll have mandatory camp, and they'll have mandatory rookies. I would drill that motherfucker. That's all you could do at this point. So talent, of course, we know he's a talent. They added talent. But talent always doesn't equal wins.
This ain't college, though. You're not about to take no all-pro, 7 in a row, 7 years in a row, 1,000+ yard receiver and just start drilling them like we in college. He's a grown man making a shit ton of money. You gonna go there and business as usual. And he's a grown man. He knows how he needs to act. And if he doesn't act right, then we'll handle that when that time comes. I'm not gonna bring you in and then listen to everybody else with their opinions of you, and then just start to treat you a certain way based upon other people's opinions. I'm gonna give you a chance to show me something different with my organization, this team, this unit, and go from there. I don't think that's right to just treat them a certain way because of everyone else's opinion of them. At the end of the day, you know, this guy isn't like some off the field guy who's getting in tons of trouble. He's a guy who, he wants the ball. He throws his arms up in the air. He gets frustrated when he doesn't have the ball. A lot of receivers do that. I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. That's just the receiver position. It's a dependent position. And when you're a star and you feel like you can alter the game for a positive reason and you're not getting the ball, you get frustrated. But at the end of the day, man, you look at the Bills, you cannot tell me the Bills did not get better when Stefan Diggs joined the team. And I think the Texans, who last year they surprisingly made the playoffs, won the AFC South, and they won a playoff game. So in all reality, in order for us to say, you know what, Stefan made them better, there's really two options that you could look at. Either A, their overall record just clearly better, or B, they win an additional playoff game, which would mean what? Getting to the AFC Championship game, which, hey, I could see them doing that based upon their talent alone. So, like, if they do that and they say they lose the AFC Championship game, they got better, because it's all about the road travel and like, where were you at before I got here? That's what matters. Where were you at? Were you 9? Were you 9-8? Were you 10-7? And then when I came, you became 12-5, and we were a 2 seed instead of a 4 seed. Like, that's all it is. Like, they don't have to win a Super Bowl next year. They just gotta get better than they were last year. And I think that's the goal of a receiver. You know what I'm saying? A receiver isn't such a big position like a QB where you're going to just change the lives of everything. No, but you should be able to make some big plays, be an additional weapon for your quarterback. I keep seeing people in the chat say there's only one ball. Of course, there's one ball, but if that's the mindset, then let's not have no stars then. Let's have one star and a whole bunch of just scrubs on every single team. That's not, no. As a team, you want to load up. Think about the Rams. They went all in with all the stars they had. They won. The Bucks, Tom Brady's second last year, went all in, had AB, Mike Evans, all these guys. Chris Godwin, Gronkowski. Come on now, one ball, but you want to have multiple ballers so you can choose and kind of decide where you want that ball to go in different moments, because now you keep the defense guessing. So I think as of right now, Stefan Diggs will be an addition. Even if you look at the Bills and everything they went through, he made that team better, regardless of whatever you say him and Josh Allen was going through.
Yeah, I would agree with you, except I can't, because they didn't give anything away for him. So everything you said about he's a grown man, he's in the NFL, he's 7-time MVP or Pro Bowler, we're not going to just judge him off of what he is. Yeah, they are. It's the NFL. They didn't give anything away for him. When you don't give away anything, you do judge him, because you're the last stop. You're this man's save. You saved this man. He didn't save you. You gave him an opportunity. I don't know why you laugh. What opportunity did Diggs have?
This ain't no Stefan Diggs' last opportunity. Like,
what other opportunity?
Ain't no 1,100 yard. Ain't no 1,100. These guys, this split was happening. Like, I've been hearing rumors months ago about this
a year ago.
Okay, so it's not because of
why did nobody give him nothing then?
I'm not in the GM room.
You say these one-sided comments, but you have no facts to back up why nobody traded for him then.
And you don't have the fact because you're not in the room.
Nobody gave nothing for him.
You're not in the rooms. I don't know how the conversation and discussions when it comes to.
We don't have to be in the room, Smitty. They got nothing for him.
You do have to be in the room. First of all, they did get something for him. Number one, I'm saying I don't know if they were looking out for Stefan. I don't know. These teams do that nowadays, where the players
it's NFL.
I know what it is, but
how do you say it's the NFL on one end?
We just saw the Bears trade.
Now they help the players?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Did we not see Justin Fields get traded to the Steelers? Did we not see that? Did we not see the Bears send Justin Fields to the Steelers because he wanted to go somewhere where he could develop? He chose the team,
right? A 6th round.
I'm asking you a question. You just said, "Is this the NFL?" Now we care about the players. Go, yes, we do. We heard it. We heard a GM literally say that. We're not going to send them anywhere. We're going to send them to a contender. Like, come on now, that's what happened. So my point is, I don't know what the conversations were being had within the behind the scenes. The GM, I I put my life on the line. Stefan Diggs could have went to other teams. That's how confident I am in knowing the NFL. Cool, that's fine. You are insane if you literally think the Texans were out of all the teams, the Texans were the only team that won them. Because basically what you're saying is, okay, if the Texans didn't step up, what, he gonna get cut and just be on the streets? Come on now, that's stupid. That would make sense.
No, he would have got picked up for nothing by somebody, just like Houston did. Houston got him before they were going to let another team just pick him up for nothing. They didn't give up anything. It wasn't a pocket check for Houston. They didn't have to do shit.
JB, it's the same situation last offseason before coming to this year. I don't know if you remember. Lamar Jackson, before he got paid, he was trying to get paid. He said, you know what? He basically requested, he didn't request a trade, I think, but he just basically, they gave him permission to look around. You know, and it was like, fuck it. And everybody was like, oh, shit, Lamar's going to leave the Ravens. And the word came back, oh, no teams are really interested in Lamar Jackson. Oh, my God, this is insane. There's nobody there. You mean to tell me no team, no matter how you feel, JB, you can't do no team was seriously interested in Lamar Jackson. You honestly, you put your life on like that. You believe that? No, there's nuance to these discussions. There's nuances to these behind the scenes things and reasons behind why teams are not offering this or they're waiting to offer this. It's a game of leverage, is what I'm trying to say. So I can't just look at what happened and just say, oh, that's what it is. There's nothing else to it. There's nuance to these discussions and conversations. All I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't believe so, because they would. It's the NFL.
I hear you. So like going to this last year, nobody wanted Lamar Jackson either. Too when he would put his name out there. Like I guess this is what it. Nobody wants good players.
Nobody wanted Justin Fields.
Nobody wanted. Well, I don't know why you just did that. I don't know why you putting Justin Fields.
Because you brought up Justin Fields earlier that you thought that they helped him.
They did. The GM posed. I wish we could find the clip for the interview.
Back for him, Smitty. He's not very good.
I wish we could find like the actual clip. And there's journal. I've read articles where there were multiple teams that he could have went to. Justin Fields didn't want to go to certain teams. Ryan Poles wanted to help Justin Fields out. He felt bad for him, whatever the case may be, because they drafted him. And he said, we're going to make sure we put him in a decent position. The Pittsburgh Steelers was one of the teams that Justin Fields had said he wanted to go for. That's an actual fact. I can't even argue with you because I read it and I know what I'm talking about. So I'm not even like, that's a fact. That's what happened. Ryan Poles came out and said that. That's what literally happened. Like, I'm not making this up.
He also said he spoke to USC and Caleb Williams is the best fucking teammate in the locker room, where Shaun King and I know people that said that's totally a lie. So is that fact too? Stop believing that these facts are facts, dog. They're not. It's the NFL.
I'm just saying what the man said.
You know what the NFL's GM job is to do, Smitty? This is fact. This is fact. E-Dub, maybe Eric Weddle can tell you. It's to fool the other GM.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? You think they're just going to fucking walk around giving away 7-time Pro Bowlers for no fucking nothing else in return? What? You guys are fucking delusional if you think that the NFL GM is telling you the truth on a podium. Let's move on. We'll get to that, I'm sure, with Matt and Steve. I got to ask you this, though. The NCAA, you sent me something. The NCAA is branching away from the college football teams are going to branch away from the NCAA. I believe I said this about a year ago on this show. I said it again with you when you joined the show. This is a thing that's going to happen. It's happening, and now it's hitting the news. So I hope somebody gives us some credit again. But apparently
they won't.
80 bigger schools. There's not 80 Power 5, so there's basically they're going to try to get 80 schools together to branch away from the NCAA, do what I said they would do a year ago, and basically a group of sports execs and college presidents proposing a football super league. Now, I wasn't Nostradamus. I didn't just throw this out in the air when I said this a year ago. Obviously, this is not a new group. A group of sports execs. No, this has been in the discussions. This has been happening. And I believe if it would have happened a year ago, Saban would still be coaching because Saban wanted to do this. And that's how I knew about it. And so a few details from the proposal being circulated around college sports is that the schools own the league, much like Major League Soccer, sold as one TV property. bottom 10 schools can be promoted or relegated. It's almost like California JUCO system, if you know anything about it. Current CST outline would create a system that would have the top 70 programs, all members of the 5 former major conferences, plus Notre Dame, because their TV contract is so lucrative, and new ACC member SMU as permanent members and encompass all 130 plus FBS universities. Listen, I said this a while ago because I know that this is coming, because the fact that the NCAA will probably okay the unionization of players, making them employees of the particular school or state. In Notre Dame's instance, since it's private, and other schools like Wake Forest, USC, Stanford, Vanderbilt, there's private entities out there also that don't have to abide by certain employment laws. This will put all players as an employee. So before that happens and there's no control, they're going to try to branch away from the NCAA. I said this a year ago. It's starting to look like it's coming true little by little. Who knows? This is why they're trying to increase the playoffs already from 12 to 14. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you think about this, but I believe if this would have happened, Nick Saban would have left. I stayed.
So let me, just for my clarity, so what's the process of all these teams separate themselves from the NCAA? Like, I'm assuming there's some sort of, is it like a contract they have with them, or a certain amount of time, where they just don't renew, or like what's the? It can't be that easy. Just like, you know what, we don't want to be a part of your organization no more.
There's no renewal. They're just gonna say we're gonna set precedent and break out of here. We're gonna go to court and we're leaving.
And there's no penalty from that or nothing. Like you
NCAA doesn't do anything. They don't pay the schools. They don't pay players. They don't do nothing. They're the governing body, which has been put in and fucking, I don't know.
Years ago, yeah.
1898.
Right.
And it's been in there, and this is the way we do shit, and that's it. It is what it is. There's nothing they do. There's nothing they do for any schools. What do? They get a cut from the BCS playoffs, what used to be the BCS, college football playoff. They get a cut from that. They don't do anything. These schools get to split the other revenue. The TV contracts, they got their hands in the TV contracts. They don't do anything for those. Notre Dame has its own TV contract. They've had it for 35 years. Nobody else. The Big Ten TV network, Pac-12 network. All these guys got their network. NCAA did nothing. They did nothing for those things. They have no dog in the fight, but they all want to walk the dog. They all want to walk the dog.
It's crazy that would, like, the more I learn about NCAA as the years go on, it's crazy that we've just been kind of sitting quiet, so to speak, and just allowing them to continue to govern us when, like you said, they're not really. What are they doing for the teams? What are they really doing for us as university, as student athletes, as coaches? Like nothing. Basically, like in a nutshell. I mean, like it just doesn't make. I guess the TV deals that they help out with, that's probably the biggest thing. But like you said, the teams, the universities, they have the leverage. Like they're the ones that are out there performing. The coaches are the ones out there coaching, and these are the ones who, like, the fan don't give a hell about the NCAA or what's the governing body. They just want to see these teams go out there and compete and play.
What the NCAA does is what? They fine you, they suspend you, they kick you out of bowl games.
Amateurism, right?
Take scholarships from you that they didn't give you in the first place. They don't fundraise for your institutional scholarships.
Right.
I can see if they're fundraising the money for individual schools. They're not doing that. Are they coming up with the money to pay coaches? Are they paying the players scholarship fees? Are they getting financial aid? That's governmental. What do? They do nothing. Do they increase FTE in the school, full-time enrollment? No, they do nothing. So
they got so much power, though. That's crazy.
Because we give it to them. It's look at the 30 plus owners in the NFL. I mean, they've been there, they're grandfathered in. That's why you ask me all the time. That's why I tell you I hate nepotism for similar acts like this. I'm going to dive into something else real quick before we take a break, before Matt comes on.
Yeah.
Last night, yesterday before the show ended, I brought up the NBA. It's we know it's watered down. It's trash league, in my opinion now. There's more triple doubles than we've ever seen. They're very casual now. They throw around triple double even in their language when they're calling games. You see these announcers throwing around triple double like it was just like a fucking 10-10 game.
Right.
And he got triple double. He's got 13 in a row. 13 triple doubles in a row is fucking not a small feat. Well, it didn't used to be. Right. Last night, Malachi Flynn came off the bench for the Detroit Pistons and dropped a 50 burger.
Shout out to Malachi, man. Malachi, he was at the Drew League last summer and did a similar feat, about 55 points in the Drew League game.
Yeah. Drew League player scores 50 in the NBA, and we think this league's still legit.
Well, don't say Drew League player. NBA players play in the Drew League. Like,
I know. I mean, Kobe, and you're right. KB drops.
Rucker. I mean, all those. I mean, they all
a big thing. The Rucker used to be a thing on the East Coast. The Drew Leagues out here on the West. We all have these leagues. So he dropped 50 last night. I don't know how many minutes he played. I would like to know that, Bailey. But he dropped 50 off the bench. They lost, by the way. Detroit lost.
That's insane.
Let me be clear that Detroit lost. And then Mark Jackson came out right after and said, "What happened to the game I love?"
So when it's in a flagrant foul, okay. I wonder what foul he's talking about.
It's becoming the fouling, the instant replay to see if it's a flagrant 1 versus a flagrant 2. It's a 10-minute delay. We have to look and say, come on, man, it's a fucking – you can't tell me that that's just a common foul. You have to look at every single replay. It's made the game unwatchable, man, for the most part. I'm watching a lot more now because we're going to bet on these games, and I'm going to be serious with the fan bases that contribute and become members and want to get real betting takes from people that have played, are in it now, are coaching now. We're going to have all these different people on to talk betting. So I'm gonna do my due diligence and watch it, just like the Final Four picks and those things we'll make tonight, because we will not have a show tomorrow. He played 34 minutes. He got 50 points off the bench. I don't know. I think Mark Jackson made a bigger statement there than he just talking flagrant foul. I think he also is talking a 50 burger by a casual off the bench. I saw the memes and you know, I don't really care because the Twitter gurus are always going to say something. Shout out to the kid for scoring 50. He still scored 50 in this league. It's still the NBA for what it is. He scored 50. No takeaway from him. But I mean, it's funny that I just said everyone's scoring, having triple doubles, and then this cat comes off the bench and scores 50. What's your take, real quick, on the current landscape of not only NBA but professional sports?
Yeah, I just think the league is different. It's worse now than it was when I was growing up. You know, early 2000s. I definitely will say that, but I think it's worse because not the players. I think the players are super talented. I don't think it's their fault. I just think with the rule changes, you know, you can't really play defense anymore, and that's NBA, NFL, you know, baseball to a degree. I think the goal right now for all these leagues is to try to make the games as fast as possible and score as many points as possible, because they know most fans, especially the casual fans, all they care about is scoring and offense. So the game right now, the NBA is much more faster pace. It's more possession, so you have more opportunities to score, less physicality. You can't hand check. You can't even do some of the basic little things without getting a technical foul or flagrant foul. So I think because of that, you couple that with the fact that these are some of the most athletic human beings on the planet, some of the most talented guys we've ever seen on a basketball court, and you can't touch them. Well, yeah, the scoring's gonna go up. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if Kobe played right now today in his prime. He probably would average 50 points a game, because he was doing that when you could touch him, when you could foul him, you could hand check, you could be physical. Now you can't do that. And again, it's not the player's fault that you can't change the rules. You do what you do. 50 points is still 50 points. If you're on the court by yourself, scoring 50 in 30 minutes is still impressive. Scoring 50 on a video game is impressive. So Malachi, shout out to you, because I'm not, like you said, that's still incredible. But we understand the reason why we're seeing more of these games and these triple doubles is because just the game has changed so much, and I think it has changed for the worse. Because I like to see that physicality and that toughness, and hopefully once the playoffs start, typically that's when they allow a little bit more tough defense and hard nose stuff like that. But yeah, it's tough to watch in the regular season.
Here's a crazy thing too about all the hypocritical statements that we've made, people make on the show, on the comment sections in media. People have come out and said Larry Bird, all these grades couldn't have played now. And I'm sitting there like, damn. So, okay, let's say they couldn't. Let's say that they couldn't play now. But on the other side, they say how physical the game was and how great defense was. How is that humanly possible to say out one side of your mouth and then the other? And I just want to say that by saying this. Do you really think that Malachi fucking whatever his name is, Harris, would have scored 50 on fucking any of those scrubs that y'all say who were scrubs? Do you really think that motherfucker would have scored 50 in any NBA game and ever? Even though you all say they were plumbers and firemen, JJ Redick, do you think this motherfucker looking like fucking Andros Siciliano or whatever his name is, looking like fucking Ebert and fucking Gizmo would have scored 50 in the NBA when y'all say it was shitty? Like, it doesn't make sense. Is it shitty? Was it not shitty? They couldn't play, but they wouldn't score 50. It's crazy how that take goes. I said Andrew Siciliano or whatever his name is because breaking news, NFL has parted ways with him, Melissa Stark, James Palmer, and Will Selva. NFL Network making moves on the media side, getting rid of some folks.
Interesting.
Yeah, rest in peace to them. Maybe they'll be somewhere new. I don't know. It always moves. Smitty, let's just get Matt in real quick before we take a break. So because we've got a bunch of people, I say we do Matt and then we take a break. So because we'll have 3 in a row after that.
But make sure we get our break though. Cause I know how you go. Matt stay on 10 minutes longer. You be like, hey bro, so and so here now. Cause I got to pee. What's going on, Matt?
Sit down on the toilet then, you bitch. Go fucking take a pee.
Watch that B word, man. Watch that B word, man.
8th grade? What are we, 8th grade, Big Smitty? I got to take a break. Please take a break.
Matt, you look different today. Like,
I look good.
I'm trying to just see, like, did you get like a pedicure, manicure, and like your hair done? Like, you look different. Like, I know I'm not tripping. You look, you
all I did was comb my hair backwards.
Nah, you look like you got a fucking like a date or something, Johnny Bravo. You look like a motherfucking.
I can't help the fact that I look fucking good.
Usually, you come on the show and it's like hard nosed, man. He's pissed off. He what's up? He's mad about something. Now you got the light colored hoodie on, the hair is combed, fucking lotion on your fucking knuckles.
What are you trying to P. Diddy me or something, motherfucker?
This dude, look, you look like you couldn't block me right now. Is what I'm really saying. It looks like if I came on there and lined up, that I would fuck you up right now. That's what it looks like right now. Go ahead, JB.
No, I was reading the thing. Matt, you're wearing a jersey. You're wearing a Jets.
Yeah, right. Jazzy J, I like it. It's fucking A. Yeah.
Hey, Jazz. Hey, she Jazz. Hey, man.
Hey, you wearing a Jets hoodie?
Yeah.
Hell yeah or hell nah. The Jets had the best off season in the NFL.
I mean, I'll take the Jets on this one. Sure. I mean, getting Hassan Reddick is huge. Getting a healthy Aaron Rodgers, God, please stay healthy and play every game, is huge. I think they're a playoff team if he plays. The Tyron Smith signing, even though it's only a 1-year deal, if he plays well, I have a feeling they will do everything humanly possible to secure him for the rest of his career. McGovern keeps telling me that they're talking to him about bringing him back at center, so they have a veteran group. You know, it's interesting because they losing Huff, but then replacing him with Hassan Reddick, bro. Like, they were so lethal on defense last year anyway. Now you put Hassan Reddick on the edge, homie. Like, this motherfucker's popping in New York. I think if they can stay healthy, they got a real shot. Because I don't think the East is as good as it has been. Miami is, I mean, look, I played for the Dolphins. There's not a softer organization than the Miami Dolphins. Period. I mean, it is. And in Miami, the U it doesn't. Those kids are all trying to get to the league. The Miami Dolphins, it's like a fucking vacation while you're in the league. And it's I'm telling you, man, when I was down there, people get distracted a lot. It is super easy to get distracted on Miami Beach.
Why are you smiling for when you said that?
I had an awesome time.
Who won the Stefan Diggs trade?
Oh, man.
Houston. I mean, getting rid of everybody for Josh Allen, Gabe Davis is gone. And, I think Houston is primed right now to go push Kansas City if they can figure out a way to play defense. And then maybe get a home game, because going to Kansas City usually doesn't work out too well for them in the past. But at the same time, I mean, the entire South just went out and got everybody, bro. I mean, look at that list right there, just in the AFC South. That's what no state tax right there gets you. Texas and Florida, everybody's trying to fucking sign with those.
Danielle Hunter, Nico Autry, damn.
Yeah,
man, they loaded.
I started the show off by saying I think addition by subtraction is a real thing. We talk about on the show all the time. Well, I do. I said Buffalo got better, Houston got cancer. That's how I started the show. It's been a few years. He hasn't done the miracle catch since 7 years ago is when Diggs made a splash play in a playoff game. He scored 0 touchdowns in the last 3 years in the playoffs. I say for a shitbird, you have to be special. Matt, I think if you're a shitbird, you got to be worth it. The reward out of it.
If you're a cancer,
has to outweigh the rip.
If you're a cancer in the locker room, dog, you better be a bad motherfucker.
And I don't know.
You better be Lawrence Taylor good.
And in the regular season, he's pretty damn good, right? He's 6 years in a row, 1,000 yards.
I think it's 7. Yeah.
Him and Josh Allen, I think, has been number 1 in most statistical categories as a duo in the NFL: catches, touchdowns, and yards. But in the playoffs, big games, big players make big plays. He's done nothing since the 7-year-ago Minnesota Miracle. I'm trying to figure out, is he worth the stretch? And I don't believe he is, only for the fact that you have a young, impressionable C.J. Stroud, Tank Dell, my kid, and Nico Collins. They just got Mixon at pass catching back. They have great weapons. I would have rather saw him go on defense, but that's just me. Listen, I hope he understands. Maybe DeMeco Ryans gets through to him like if the previous 2 NFL coaches could not do. Maybe he's straight line. Maybe he figures it out. I don't know. I just hate to see, because one bad apple ruins a whole batch in this business, Matt. And I hate to see that spread through that locker room like wildfire and ruin a good thing that we saw last year in a team building as an organization.
Now, look, I agree that sometimes bringing in a guy, I don't know if Diggs is that much of a turd.
That's what I'm saying. I
know he's outspoken and he's a little bit of a shit talker, but I don't know if he's I don't know if he's super turd. Like, you can't have him on a team. He's not Antonio Brown.
Thank you. We're talking like he's AB or something. I'm like, hey,
Matt, before you keep going, I just want to tell you one thing. It's from a coach who coached them in Minnesota. Is absolute shitbird of all shitbird.
I'd imagine coaching him is really terrible. But I think DeMeco Ryan, look, this is the thing with Diggs. You're not a Hall of Famer. You're a guy. You're a good player. You're not a great. No one's going to be like top 10 receivers, Stefan Diggs. No one. And if you do, you're biased and he's on your team or your fantasy team or some shit. And that's okay. It's okay. No one's talking shit. It's just fact. So this could be, to be honest with you, bro, this could be your last year if you go fuck it up. Let's be real. They traded for him. They could just cut his ass next offseason. He's gone. So if you want to go up there and act like you're special, okay, DeMeco Ryans probably doesn't fuck with that, and you're out. So that's the beauty of the National Football League. And look, when you're going to talk about Buffalo, I think Buffalo is going to center their game around big shots to their receivers, but their catch leaders will be the tight ends and the backs. And they're going to they have to run the football in order for Josh Allen to win games, and especially close games. So, I think both teams Buffalo got rid of a guy who, I'm not going to say it didn't work out, bro. They have been in the playoffs every year he was there. So, they were.
Thank you.
What were they? 15 seconds away from going to the Super Bowl or something like that.
15. I think it was 13.
Wasn't that the divisional round actually?
Yeah, but it was against the Chiefs though. Because
they lost the AFC title game to the Chiefs. Then they lost the divisional round shootout where they couldn't fucking prevent defense and they didn't press Kelsey. And then they lost the Cincinnati game at home. And then they, last year they win a game and then lose. So look, they've got a lot of talent. Houston has a lot of talent. This is addition by subtraction for Buffalo, and it is a necessary risk for the Texans in order to try and maximize their young cinema call. Because look, Tank Dell, obviously, and Nico Collins is a freak. So if Stefan Diggs doesn't have to be the guy and you can just go between three, well, that's what made him good in Buffalo. When him and Gabe Davis and what was the little white boy that didn't want to get the COVID shot? Beasley? Yeah.
Beasley, yep. Cole Beasley, yep.
And then, they replaced him with that kid from Boise this year who was a pretty good player. So, Josh Allen is the key in Buffalo. You can put pieces around him. Houston took a chance, and they're going all in, and they should because their quarterback is fucking real. CJ Stroud is the real deal, bro. He should have been the number one pick. Carolina looks like Portland right now.
I just got a text from Josh Allen.
Sam Bowie. Shit.
I text Josh Allen today, man. What's going on with Diggs? He's a bitch boy. Oh.
I don't know if that's a joke, but I'm assuming it is.
It's a joke. I don't know what that is. Let me ask you something. To counter your take. I want to counter what you just said. This is why I don't like the trade, for the simple fact that you said he doesn't have to be the number one because of being a shitbird. And if you're not the number one as a shitbird, you've been around enough of them. We all have. If you're not the key primary focus, you are even a worse shitbird. And I don't know if he can manage or help himself from being who he is, because he's Draymond Green. We're tired of hearing about what you say you are. Show us who you are. And you've done it over and over and over. And listen, the Bills went to the playoffs a year before Diggs got there, although they lost, of course. They've lost every year. But they did go to the playoffs without him. So Josh Allen, to your point, is the guy you build around. But I don't like a Stefan Diggs on a team that's young and building when you're not, like you said, doesn't have to be one. Because you can throw the ball to Mixon out the backfield. You got Tank Dell recovering. He'll be better than he was last year. Just mark my words. You got Nico Collins, who's going to be an up-and-coming big-time dude, big body guy that can go do everything. He's kind of reminds me of Mike Evans, not as big.
Dalton Schultz is a fucking hell of a tight end. They got dudes, dog.
They got Michi that they're still grooming.
That's right. Michi, didn't he have cancer?
Yes.
And he's fully healthy coming up this year, right?
Yes. And that's why people don't want to break down. That's why
real,
I'm like, dude,
real quick though, y'all.
I want that dude to get going.
What y'all saying is 100% right. Like, they have a lot of potential. And some guys who did play very, very well last year, like Nico Collins balled out last year. He came on the map, and most of us hadn't even heard of him or really knew who he was. Obviously, your kid Tank. No one really but no one other than you expected him to go out there and do what he did. But right now, we are just assuming that they're going to continue on that same path or be even bigger and better. The thing about Stefan Diggs, like, we can say about whatever we want to say about his personality, all that stuff, all that's fair. But on the football field, he balls out, and we have 7 straight years of actual tangible, objective information and statistics that shows that this man, when he's on the field, he's a huge asset, and we know he's a star. Michi might be a star. I don't know. Nico might continue up this path to be a star. I don't know. Like, all these are like maybes. Stefan Diggs is that guy on the football field. We know that for a fact. So it's like you bring in a guy who's, I mean, nothing's a guarantee, but I'm gonna say damn near a guarantee to go out there and make a lot of plays on that football field. As a GM, as a team, like, whoa, the goal is to get better. The goal is to make your team better as possible. Like I mentioned the Bucs earlier. The Bucs went all in. They brought in an older AB. They already had Mike Evans. They brought in an older Gronk. They already had Chris Godwin. That Super Bowl run. Like they did that. Like these teams are going all in to win Super Bowls, and it's worked.
Smitty,
but Tampa had Tom Brady, homie.
You can't.
Of course. I'm still.
He keeps bringing up regular season stats, too. The dude had 14 yards in his last playoff game last year and dropped 3 balls that were major game ball decision makers.
You still got to get there, though, JB. The regular season matters to me. That's what you differ.
It doesn't matter to me.
I know. That's why we always argue, but like the regular season still has to matter. You still got to get there.
I will say this.
Let's clarify the differences, though, that you just came up with. Those teams that went all in, Rams, Bucks, Chiefs, common denominator they had is a veteran quarterback and a coach who put together the offense and who actually calls the offense. This situation has a defensive-minded coach who's on the other side of the ball, and now we're requiring to bring in a guy on his last performance in this league, had 14 yards, and he's all accounts a shitbird to everyone that knows him. So I'm trying to figure out how is that Godwin, Mike Evans, and Tom Brady? How is that Stafford bringing in a veteran OBJ to go along with Cooper Kupp, the NFL
I'm
leader?
saying OBJ is a great example. I mean, you got OBJ, you got AB. These are guys who I know you specifically have called shitbirds and called this and that, and they both were a huge asset. I was just talking to Shady yesterday. He said we do not win a Super Bowl with the Bucs without Antonio Brown. We saw what OBJ did during the regular season and even in the Super Bowl prior to him getting hurt. So all I'm saying is in the NFL, your teams will have shitbirds. Matt knows firsthand because he played in the league. You're going to some of your most talented guys sometimes will be shitbirds. It's about understanding and knowing how to manage them. I hear you. You got to, but let's also not sleep on the fact that Josh Allen hasn't always performed at a high level in the playoffs as well, which me and you discussed yesterday, and you agreed with JB yesterday on the show. So I'm just saying it's a dependent position. It's not all on Stefan Diggs. Now, he played horrible in this last game. I admit that. 3 drop passes, but all I'm saying is each game is its own entity. And the regular season, to me, still matters because you still got to get there. You still want to get a number 1 seed or number 2 seed, and how you perform in the regular season plays that's a direct correlation to seeding and all that. I don't know. Like we just disagree on what matters, I guess.
Well, look, talking about regular season for Houston, last year they had a last place schedule. This year they'll have a first place schedule. We'll see how good they really are. Period. Like that's just the way the NFL works. That's why so many teams that make the playoffs fall off the next year because they switch up the schedule on your ass and all of a sudden you're playing a ton of primetime games and they want to see if you're real. Period. Right. So you do it once, that's cool. But we want to see if you're real, if you're consistent, if you can do it daily, like if you can do it weekly. Stroud showed that he could do it last year as a rookie. That was the most incredible rookie season in NFL history, and I don't even think it's fucking close. Ooh. So, I mean, for real, bro, that was incredible.
Now he bought out. I think Andrew listened to the conversation, but yeah, now he bought out.
Just because you're a fucking cult. Good God, he is such a homer.
Hold on, Andrew Luck had a phenomenal rookie year, though. I'm not just saying that.
CJ Stroud rookie year, dog. Come on. So, but what I am saying is, I think both teams did what they had to do in order to get better for themselves. I don't really like the comparison between those. I mean, Mahomes is still young, but bro, he's on the same trajectory as CJ Stroud, I guess. So you got to give Stroud these weapons. But come on. I will say that the Stafford and the Brady comparison, they were so seasoned and so veteran at that point. Like that's where people want to go. I don't know if Houston's a destination yet. Trading doesn't mean you picked it necessarily. The GM picked where he's going to go, but at the same time, it's interesting. That's for damn sure, man. I mean, there's the good teams in the NFL loading up, and I think there's going to be a huge discrepancy this year between the good teams and the bad teams. Like,
and to your point,
in Denver, the Broncos are going to be dog shit. Like, let's win 2 games, please.
To your point, CJ's. It elevates to me because of it was a Houston Texans team that Lovie Smith doesn't get enough credit, to Shaun King's point, for building that roster before he did depart ways. But they were a bad team. They're a bad year. And Houston came in and did what they did with everyone thinking they were a horrible organization and going to win a playoff game last year, what CJ did. Now, the thing is, the history of this league, though, Matt, as you know, in this man's league is quarterbacks do have a thing called a sophomore slump in this league. And that's the one thing we have to watch.
Pick on you, dog. Yeah.
And that's the one thing we'll have to see. And that's
Andrew Luck had 40 touchdowns as a rookie.
Yeah.
Nah,
No fucking way, dog. 40 touchdowns as a rookie?
Nah, I think he threw 23. I think he threw 20. It might be flips. I'm pretty sure he ain't thrown 40 as a rookie.
Shit. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
he had a good season. He ain't throw
He threw 23.
Yeah, he threw 23.
23
and had 18 picks.
How many did CJ throw last year?
I don't know.
I think it was 30 something.
I love watching you two type.
He threw 23.
23.
So they both threw 23. How many
picks? But
did
CJ only threw 5 picks though. Andrew threw like 18 picks.
Yeah, that's 13 more. But also Andrew was in the league at a different time where these could actually hawk the ball and run into people. Now you have to wait for them to catch it. And then you have to be like,
yeah. 4,300 yards, you know what I'm saying?
The Chiefs just have a drinking problem as an organization. I think we can all agree to it. Rashid Rice may not have been drinking, I don't know, but he got into a wreck the other day. The organization just seems to have an issue. Andy Reid's son, Patrick Mahomes' father, now is facing 10 years for his 3rd DUI. The organization just seems to continue to have issues. The only reason I'm bringing this up is the job that Andy Reid's doing to continue to win Super Bowls has to be one of the most masterful ones with all this shit. You have the Kelseys and the Kardashian drama and the fucking Taylor Swift. Now the Kelseys are going to do a fucking Kardashian reality show. And now it's got to be the most daunting task as a head coach in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, it's really, really fucking hard to coach all these Hall of Famers.
God dog it, man. Tyreek Hill.
I'm not taking anything away from the Walrus.
He didn't win with Tyreek Hill.
I'm not taking anything away. They did win a Super Bowl.
season.
Tyreek got
I'm trying to take anything away from the Walrus. He's one of the fucking best ever. And he'll probably get another ring or two before he walks.
Yeah.
And he's a first ballot Hall of Famer and one of the greats.
But
he's got the best job in football, bro. He's got the best player at the quarterback position. He's got the best player at tight end. They can rotate receivers through. Rashid Rice, you want to fuck around? Peace.
Best D tackle, Matt.
Best play technique in football. They can rotate pass rushers around him. They have the best corner in football, the best nickel corner in football, which is, I might say that the nickel corner, because of run support and being able to cover tight ends and backs and everything that those guys are asked to do, that's like the Sam linebacker back in the day, because they essentially removed the Sam linebacker from the field. So the nickel corner of McDuffie, they got the best one there. You know, Sheed last year was the best corner in football. They've got a veteran, savvy defensive coordinator that was an ex-head coach in Spagnuolo who has done nothing but just go to Super Bowls and shut down greats. Remember that he was the DC that shut down the Patriots NFC title game and shut down the Patriots. And he's a fucking genius. He may not be the best head coach when he went to the Rams, but that might have been just a bad situation for him. A lot of these coaches are better assistants because they can actually coach. They don't have the CEO. And I will say this, look, I understand that substances are a problem for people. I've had my fair share, but I haven't had a drink in 16 years. So I think that if I could give any advice to young players, alcohol is poison, dog. They ain't going to drug test you for weed. Move to a weed safe state. Go to college somewhere where they're not going to fuck with you. And don't drink, and just work out and eat like a fucking animal and really commit yourself to your craft. And you won't go to the NFL with this lie that you need to be Joe Cool, that you need to be at the bars, that you need to be seen, that you need to be out drinking and driving and fucking around and chasing hoes and doing all this bullshit because you saw it on TV or the guy before you did it. I think it's the fastest way to lose everything, period. And I don't know how many guys I've seen lose everything because of it, but the list is motherfucking long. Henry Ruggs.
And then also,
Ice Smokey in the chat. You're absolutely delusional. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about. And
weed and alcohol are not the same thing.
Yeah, but I also wasn't on a reality show, so I want to clear that up. Ice Smokey's a fucking idiot who knows nothing between the difference of a documentary and a reality show. A reality show is scripted. A documentary is not. Facts. So go away, you fucking retard. Now, having said that and moving on so amicably, I have to ask you, Matt,
Stay out the strip clubs. Tell them, Uncle Mooch.
I want to clear this up. The NCAA, as you and I have discussed this in length, like no one else has done that I know of anyway on any other show. We've been saying it for a year prior to to Smitty coming on the show, that the NCAA current landscape would be broken up because the Power 5 schools would go into their own league. It looks like it is coming to fruition. It is happening.
Here we go.
We've said this a year or even longer than a year ago, maybe. We said, and this is what I think would have kept Nick Saban. We got about 4 minutes. Nick Saban would still be coaching, in my opinion, if this were to escalate 2 years ago, as when we started talking about it. Apparently, it's starting to happen. It looks like that because I don't believe they want to pay the players as a union representative or pay them as an employee of the college, or for the private school's sake, the state, like Notre Dame, Wake Forest, Vanderbilt, Stanford, USC. So I think they're going to break away, have their own rules. We said this a year or two ago. This is what it is. And now we're going to see a 70-team power super conference, adding 10 teams a year in relegation, similar to what the junior college process is here in California. Every 2 years, you go up or down as far as a tier based on competition and how good you are. What do you see with this being discussed now, and how do you see college football in 2 years?
College football players, strike. Please. Man the fuck up and understand it's bigger than you. And if everybody wants a piece of the pie, strike. You understand how much money they would lose if you striked before the first game of the season this year? They would lose billions of dollars in revenue on TV deals. You would be at the negotiating table on Monday morning talking about how everybody gets paid, how there's revenue sharing with the TV deals, how there's revenue sharing with everything, every goddamn chip that's sold at the stadium you need a piece of. You need a pension. You need annuity. You need health care. You need everything that professional athletes get. All the coaches have that. You don't. Now, you have certain benefits because of your scholarship, but that scholarship these days is extremely, how do I say this? It don't mean shit. It don't mean shit, dog. I've had 5 guys this year go on NIL scholarships. So, yeah, that would have been a walk-on 5 years ago. Now they're a full ride scholarship player, and they don't have to abide by the same rules of a full scholarship player under the university because they are an NIL scholarship player at a Power 5 D1 school. So if you're a NIL scholarship player as a PWO, but you're still being covered, but you don't have the same restrictions being on scholarship as the guy who got a scholarship. Well, shit, I think the NIL deal might be better because it gives me more freedom.
You do what you want, right?
Yes.
I never thought about that. That's crazy.
So, like, these days, if I'm a big-time player, I don't want your measly fucking scholarship from your school. No offense. It was extremely valuable years ago. It's still valuable so parents don't have to pay for school. I mean, I met with a kid last night, and, it's an investment, yada, yada. The dad just looked at me and goes, if you do this right, I won't have to pay for college. Like, that's a big thing. That's a huge thing. No one can say it's not. But let's be real here. If you're a big-time player, you're this Underwood kid who's a 5-star, super fucking prep quarterback from Detroit who's committed to LSU, I think. Why would you want LSU's restricted NIL deal and their scholarship and their rules when you can say, fuck your scholarship, I'll pay for my classes? Because I'm going to get a $5 million NIL deal so I can pay a $50,000 class bill. So, and then I don't have to abide by your dumbass rules under your scholarship because I'm a walk-on, but I'm making 5 G's.
That's all the NCAA does. They don't fundraise scholarships. They don't pay. They don't give you financial aid. They don't give you anything. They take bowl winnings. They take other monies from TV contracts for some reason because when they existed and started in 1898 or whatever. This is just what we accepted. Nowadays, I think the people are starting to see, okay, we don't have to accept this anymore. And now, once it becomes a unionized situation, the NCAA will have zero say.
They have got to fucking strike.
They have no dog in the fight, but yet they always want to walk the cute puppy. Like the NCAA walk the dog, they have no dog.
nobody talks about this shit. None of the coaches want it to happen. I don't know why, because it won't hurt their bill folds. They're still getting paid. They're on guaranteed contracts. What they should be promoting this,
which is paid by the institution, not the NCAA.
Exactly. The NCAA is the problem. The institutions have to abide by their rules until they get rid of it. That stupid ass, corrupt, fucked up organization. The NCAA is the most corrupt organization in the history of sports. They have kept more people down than, like, their mantra is like elevating athletes, right? We're here for every student athlete. They've kept more student athletes down than any other organization ever, with all their restrictions on getting into school, like the cultural bias and the testing back in the day, like just the way that it's been set up for you. You sell a fucking plastic championship ring, you're suspended. You can't sign an autograph, but we can sell your jersey. It's fucking bullshit, bro. So the players, I wish that I would have thought like this when I was in college, but I don't know who could do this. Who's the most prominent college football player? I bet you Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter could get this done. I bet you if Shedeur and Travis came out and said, look, North Dakota State, home opener at Folsom, we're not playing. And I'm going to rally the other 10 quarterbacks, Carson Beck and Gabriel and all these big timers around the country, Quinn Ewers, and say, look, we need to come together and everybody take a seat and lock arms week one and say, until we're cut in, have fun watching the JV team out here. Because I'll tell you one thing, the UFL and the XFL is cool because it's in the off season and it gives us something to do, but I don't know if it has a fan base following yet. No one wants to watch bad football, and football's hard as fuck to look good. Yeah, like that's why good football is so, like, people freak out about it, us included, because it is so fucking hard. It is so hard to coordinate everybody to do everything right and everything to hit consistently. And like, people think the consistency is easy, and it ain't. It's greatness. So, I think that the only way for these college players to actually get what they deserve is for all of them to come together and be great for the next generation. But the NCAA and the coaches and everybody set up NIL to be selfish. So you have to be a selfish. I even tell kids, like, I need you to be super selfish so you can be the best teammate possible. Because I don't know how you can be a good teammate if you're a pile of shit. If you don't have any dough, if you don't work out hard, if you don't eat right, if you don't sleep, if you don't put yourself number one as an athlete, how am I supposed to be the best teammate possible? So this is a tricky question, bro, but the players have so much power. And I think that instead of just being a great quarterback or a great receiver or a great safety, let's try being great leaders. Let's unionize and fucking get a goddamn, president of the union and vote him in and do things the way the NFL does it. Now, the NFL union is poo-poo, but at least they have one. Shit.
Right.
I don't know if kids can be leaders without leading men. Like, our men aren't leaders anymore.
Yeah, that's my only thing. Like,
with that.
who they need someone to be at the negotiation tables, though, right? To
I'll tell you this. Look, when I was playing, Joe Klatt was my quarterback for the last 2 years. Okay,
I love Joe. It's my guy.
Joe Klatt was an older cat because he played baseball before he got there. So he had a year or two on all of us. And he was more mature because he had baseball professional in his background. But Jeremy Bloom couldn't fucking ski for us and play, but Joel Klatt could play baseball and play. So there's the NCAA for you. But Klatt, when he walked in and started as a junior, he could have ran the fucking the National Players Organization in 5 minutes. He could have organized everybody. Everyone would have listened.
Super smart.
Just like everyone listens to his ass right now. In fact, he could do it right now. Yeah, Joel, you could be the president of the fucking College Football Players Union, dog. Easy.
There it is.
Yeah, but I'd bet dollars to dimes if I did a research on Joe Klatt's high school coach, his daddy at the house, and his college coach. There was a complete different shift in what they're doing right now than what these kids are getting right now.
His father was his high school coach, and Gary Barnett was his college coach.
Joe Klatt, a bad boy. That's my homie.
Hold on. So Shedeur's dad is his college coach. What's the difference? Why can't Shedeur do it?
Oh, man.
He's not a coach yet.
What?
His daddy's not a solidified coach yet.
being
why.
a head coach at a Power 5 D1 is about as solidified as it gets.
Man, we got to bring you back on Monday, man, because I was over here fighting by myself yesterday, defending your Colorado, your Buffs and Coach Prime. I wish you was here yesterday. We're going to have to bring you back on. We have no show tomorrow, so I'll have to bring you back on Monday.
No, Matt, no show tomorrow. We have I got to go to be a pallbearer for one of my lifelong friends. He died. So I got to go do that shit.
I'm sorry, brother. That's terrible.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We'll talk about this again Monday. We all know why Deion got the job there, not because of coaching. We're going to dive on that Monday. Hey, I appreciate you and hater.
What a cliffhanger.
God, why are you such a hater? Fucking hater, dog.
Smitty and Bailey don't know who the fuck these guys are?
No, don't put my name in there. I know what that is. One of the all-time hip-hop duo back in the day. Did I grow up listening to them? No, but I know who they are.
And look, I'll be on at 10 o'clock, 0 to 60. Come check it out on YouTube. We just got monetized on Twitch. It only took a week. We've already got a fucking huge sponsor, the Factor Energy, so we're pretty pumped about that. Coach, you got to get on Twitch, dog.
I am. We are on Twitch, but I just don't fuck with it. I don't play video games.
No, dude, I'm telling you, it's the same thing. Like it's Twitch. You think you get subs now? Go on Twitch and do this shit. Damn, fuck. Twitch is where it's at. That shit is
Matt's making 7 figures.
That shit is fucking lit, dog. Everybody come to Twitch. Fucking let's itch some palms together and we'll get this fucking done. 10 a.m. 0 to 60. We're fucking rolling. See you bitches Monday.
Peace.
All right, pussy.
We go right from one to another legend. Steve Kim joining us.
Put him in the middle, man. Shout out to Steve Kim, man. Steve, let's
What's
get
up,
straight to brass tacks, man.
What up, Steve? Brass tacks right away. I watched a Whitlock segment. You and talking Stefan Diggs. I started the show off by saying who won the Diggs trade, A, and B. I started off by saying how I wanted to be like Whitlock. I was like, I'm going to start off with a bomb, or what does he call it? Fire bomb or whatever.
Fire starter.
Fire starter. And the person getting torched was Smitty. Diggs. I believe that Buffalo Bills got better yesterday and the Houston Texans got cancer yesterday. And that's how I took it. What did you take it like?
Well, it depends. That first month or so, if Stefan Diggs is not getting his customary 8 to 10 targets, and it's Tank Dell, Nico Collins, and Mixon, and my guy, Korean Air, Brevin Jordan, getting all the touches, having all the fun, and then is Stefan Diggs going to do his usual side eye with this cock neck and, his bad body language? Just that's the thing. And then if he says something to a very young quarterback, does that young quarterback right now have the capital to say, hey, STFU, right? Like be a team guy.
I think he does. Steve.
Let's see. He has not exhibited that because he's an extremely young guy. He's a rookie. Okay. I don't know if he has that Dan Marino personality or Troy Aikman to say, look, we're going to get you the ball when it's time, when you're open. People don't realize, and Whitlock looked it up during the show, Stefan Diggs has like 150 targets the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, he is a focal point of that offense. He may be more, I don't want to say complimentary because he's still very good, but he's going to be part more of an ensemble cast now. Now, the question I have for Buffalo, though, is, Coach, it's not like Andre Reid and Eric Mold are walking through that door. Who are they throwing to?
I don't know.
Right now, outside, they have a pair of good young tight ends, because I really like Kincaid out of Utah, and Knox is a good player. Yeah. But this is a very deep wide receiver draft. There's like a dozen guys that can go in the first 2-3 rounds. But all right, now Josh Allen has to start with a bunch of parts and a rookie. So I don't know. Let's revisit this conversation in week 8.
Yeah,
they got Curtis Samuel,
utility player, not really a number one.
Khalil Shakir had, I think, 600 yards late in the season. He started to show some flashes, not a one. Mac Hollins, nobody. Justin Shorter, an absolute fucking nobody. KJ Hamler, nobody.
Speedster, but he's more of a small little guy, but he's never really.
Andy Isabella sounding like something straight out of The Sopranos, a fucking nobody. Brian Thompson, never heard of him. Tyler Shavers, never heard of him. So who are they going to get right now is my question to you. Let me ask you this, though.
Man.
Another poll question for you. So has the Bills run officially ended?
With that core group, yes.
Yep. I agree.
So let me ask you then a deeper question. Why do you blow it up then right now in Josh Allen's prime? To your point, it's over. The run is over. But so why do you blow it up then if it wasn't for this kid being a shitbird?
Well, they tried it multiple times though. You know, JB and like you said, definitely Vasani's doing the same thing, expecting a different result. They tried. They got I think all the way to the AFC Championship game, but they can't get to the big game with this core group. So you got to try something different. You got to at least try. Whether it works or not, you have to do something different, right?
There's an old saying, Bill Walsh believed it, Branch Rickey believed it. Get rid of a player a year too early rather than a year too late.
Mm-hmm.
And it's obvious that Diggs did not want to be in Buffalo anymore. And if he's becoming disgruntled, you don't want that disgruntledness to become blown out malcontentness.
Yep.
So if there's still value and you can get a relatively high first-round draft choice, you got to, or the draft choice, not a first-rounder, you have to do it now.
Here's the thing about coaching, the coaching aspect of this, and I talked to a few people last night, Weddle included, and some other guys. All this was a Sean McDermott warning that you are being fired.
Last year, yeah.
That is all this really was, and it might not even make it a year. So, that is where you are with Sean McDermott, in my opinion. It's a warning shot to say, bottom line is, you are fired. They've gone through OC after OC. Dable's gone to be a head coach. It's always someone else. It's never anybody else's fault. It's always someone else. It's like it's always a coach. It's always OC. When is it Josh Allen and Diggs' fault? Now Diggs is gone. So now it's on Josh Allen and Sean McDermott, and that's it. And then this loaded roster that I've been the one saying it's not loaded. They don't run the football. Their O-line is suspect. They have an aging pass rush. I don't know if it is loaded, and I don't know what they can do to fix it.
They ain't loaded no more. I mean, we're only talking about Diggs right now, but they lost Jordan Poyer. They lost, I think, Micah Hyde. Obviously,
and now they're kicking themselves in the ass, getting rid of Gabe Davis a little prematurely because they probably didn't know they were going to shoot Diggs out because Diggs probably made it unbearable for him. So again, player empowerment.
Yeah, but again, this is a deep wide receiver draft. I could see Buffalo going to a lot of two-type formations. I think Austin Kincaid is going to be a really productive player. Dalton Knox has been a productive player. And look, the one thing they don't do is run the ball or move the ball well in the red zone. They rack up a lot of yards. But if you look at the red zone efficiency, when the window's tighten, you got to be a precision passer. You got to have some finesse. But then you got to be able to power the ball inside. This is where they struggle. Their drives bog down near the goal line. So they may have to reinvent themselves. And Josh Allen, I don't know if he's regressed the last two seasons. I don't think his game has progressed the way you wanted it to and evolved. He still has some rough edges for all those athletic fireworks he gives you.
Yeah. Stefan Diggs has unfollowed his brother on Instagram, so he's locked in apparently.
Okay.
The media blows this shit up. Is Houston the best team in Texas?
I don't know about that. I think McChesney just pointed out they play a first-place schedule now, and the element of surprise is no longer there. You could sneak up on a division or a league in the beginning. Now, can you put on a 5, 6, 7-year run? I'll say one thing about Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck's first 4 years, the Colts got better and won a single game every single year, basically, and went a step further into the playoffs until it fell apart when they got blown out by the Patriots in the AFC title game. So that's what I want to see. But again, this is going to be a test of Stefan Diggs' maturity. Can you be a guy that's happy when you have 4 catches for just 56 yards while everyone else kind of explodes? Can you actually be a guy that can sacrifice his own numbers for the greater good? We shall see. I have my doubts.
I got somebody sent me this as a rumor. They saying this is Stefan Diggs when CJ Stroud throws to Tank Dell first game.
Well, that would be addition by subtraction. People forget how good Tank Dell was for the first 12, 13 weeks. And if it wasn't for CJ Stroud, Tank Dell might have been the offensive rookie of the year. And so, again, to me, Tank Dell does not have great size. he might be their number one receiver. Can Stefan Diggs go from being a Michael Irvin type to Alvin Harper? Again, we shall see.
Yeah. I want to transition to some college. A year or so ago, I know you've talked about it with me, Matt, and I discussed it a year or two ago. It's starting to look like it's gaining some traction here and may come to fruition. The NCAA seems to be breaking off, or the Power 5 schools will be breaking off from the NCAA in the football realm of things, at least. As we've all said, once they unionize, once they make them employees, whether the state of the private institutions or the institution themselves in the public setting, they're going to be employees. There's no more control. Player empowerment will reign supreme. I got to ask you, do you see 70 teams with a 10-team relegation similar to soccer, California junior college? I believe this is what Nick Saban wanted. I believe this would have kept Nick Saban in the business. Now it looks like it could be a year or 2 years away, but it might happen.
The relegation, I don't know if any program's going to go for that. I mean, if you're one of those bottom feeder Power 5 teams like a Vanderbilt, that's the last thing you want.
Well, it'll be 70 Power 5s, but then the 10-team relegation will be the MAC or the lower group of 5s.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a traditionalist. I didn't know what was wrong with the old conference system. I thought the regional aspect of college football was part of its charm and what I liked about it. You want to blur the lines between this and the National Football League, go ahead. I don't know what to say. It is what it is. There's no stopping it as far as I'm concerned. You're either going to watch it or you're not. You know, I don't know what to say other than do what you want. It's not the game that I grew up watching. I don't think it's going to be quite as fun. You're making this into pro football, which has its drawbacks because every school now, I was on a Miami Hurricane space yesterday with Caneville. Shout out to the X and Streeter. But look, every school now, I imagine at a certain level, they have a list of players that are basically saying they're on that list. And I don't mean Schindler's List, but in other words, are these guys a transfer portal candidate or are they going to be pushed out for better players? I mean, they have a list. And last year, X put out a list. I'm just telling you, he was very, very accurate. So he must have gotten some good information about what players will be, quote, unquote, moving on / pushed out. And I'm thinking to myself, what if that's just a kid that's okay with just making college football his ceiling and getting his degree, and he really enjoys the University of Miami in South Florida, and now he's being, quote, unquote, encouraged to pursue other opportunities. See, there is a, I don't say dark side, but there's a downside to all this. There is.
Yeah, there is. And I don't understand why people don't see that. I don't see it. I don't know if there's a really good way to fix this.
Well, here's the thing, Deion Sanders, I'm going to say this again. He is the most honest guy about the NIL. The NIL is about an iconic athlete. Think Larry Johnson at UNLV. Think Christian Laettner at Duke. Reggie Bush at USC. Tim Tebow at Florida, where people are buying thousands of his jerseys or T-shirts or any paraphernalia related to that individual. Those guys should get a cut. But a backup punter, just to get a collective, which is a bunch of boosters and fans getting together, raising money, monthly funds. You have a Canes connection is what Miami has. And then so every time you recruit a kid, you're getting straight to, hey, we have a collective. It's just become pay for play. That's what it's become. And Deion Sanders had said himself, this is where Coach Prime is very, very valuable because of his honesty. He says, there's less than 5 players in the country that could walk down the street and you say, hey, that's such and such for that team. How many college football players are really good enough every season that we actually know who they are if they walk down Main Street, New York?
10.
Well, I don't even think 10. I really don't. I don't even think 10. I think it's usually about 3 or 4 guys.
I agree. And the helmets, wearing a helmet, Smitty, as you know, doesn't help.
Yeah, don't help at all.
That's why NFL's the lowest paid professional sport. Always has been. Just don't get the PR that baseball and basketball gets because of the helmet that covers our face, limiting ads and commercials. And unless you're a quarterback, tell me who Larry Allen is. Show me Will Shields if he walks into the mall tomorrow. You don't even know your best O-line and D-line in the NFL. Stop it. You couldn't put him out. You couldn't pick him in a lineup. So, Steve, I got to ask you this. Round 1, first pick for the Bills, going back to Stefan Diggs' move, is pick 28. And they move up far enough to get a receiver that you like.
If you're in the top 50, you can get a good receiver. Now, the question is, what receiver do you want? You may have to move up. But when there's guys like Franklin at the University of Oregon, who I actually saw in mock drafts at number around the 2nd round, and Franklin's a big, strong, fast guy. I was impressed by him. I think his size-speed ratio is really good. And again, do you want a guy that's a true number 1 or a guy that can take the top off the defense like Xavier Worthy? Right. So that's the question. Look, at 28 in this particular draft, you can have a pick of receivers, but are you going to get a Marvin Harrison? No, he's coming off the board within the first hour of that draft. So yeah, you can get a receiver. The question is just which one do you want? At that point, do you stick at 28? Do you move up or do you move down? Because this draft is about 15 receivers deep and guys that can actually make an impact in the league.
So let's play a game real quick. So you're not moving to 1 to Chicago. You have no shot. You're not moving to 2 to Washington. You're not moving to 3 to New England. Probably 3 QBs taken right there. Probably Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Penix,
McCarthy, maybe sneak up.
AJ McCarthy. Some type of combination within those 3 teams. Then you got Arizona Cardinals. I wouldn't be shocked if they went after a quarterback because I believe that marriage is going to end soon with Kyler Murray. The Chargers are interesting to 5. Basically, the Chargers have pick 1, and I don't know why anyone hasn't talked about this. They are picking first essentially because they already have a number 1 quarterback. So they already have a 1 quarterback. So they're really picking 1. So do you take the best old tackle in the draft? Do you take the best receiver in the draft?
Marvin Harrison.
They have a very peculiar situation.
I think Arizona's gonna get Marvin Harrison. Though,
yeah,
I think,
if Marvin Harrison is there, look at the Chargers. They lose both receivers that have had productive moments. Keynan actually is making a run for the Hall of Fame with another good year or two. You got to have some threats outside, and their number 1 draft choice last year from TCU. He couldn't catch a cold butt naked in Antarctica. He had bad hands. And unless Jim Harbaugh really wants to go old school and run 12 and 13 personnel 80% of the time, you still got to have threats for your quarterback. So, but again, I think Arizona will actually take Harrison. But I mean, you got Malik Neighbors out there, who I think is a top of the guy. He could take the top off the defense. He's very productive. Yeah. Right. So there's a lot of receivers. I mean, even Ladd McConkey, I didn't realize he was that fast. If you need a really good slot receiver who is very intelligent out there, Ladd McConkey is going to be a really good pro. He's probably going to be in the later half of the first, mid-second. Again, you have your choice of receivers out here, depending on what you want and who you want.
You got 28. You got to move up to, what do you figure? In the top 10 to get a good receiver?
Well, if you want Neighbors or Harrison, you need to be in the top 7 or 8, probably.
So you got to go to the Titans. You got to go Giants, Titans, or Falcons before the Bears get their
Well, hold on. If I'm the Giants, I'm telling you got to get either a quarterback or a wide receiver. I mean, in all fairness to Danny Dimes, he had nobody to throw out there. Amani Toomer wasn't exactly walking through that door.
So I'm trying to figure out how I don't know. I'm looking at these teams right now. The Jets at 10, Vikings at 11, the Broncos at 12. One of those teams I believe is going to possibly try to make a trade with the Chargers at 5. I wouldn't be shocked there, but I don't know if Harbaugh is going to do it.
Look, Roma Dunze is another guy that could be a solid number 1 guy. He runs all the routes. He's got good size. That's another guy that could go anywhere in the top 10 to 15.
So you're going to have Malik Neighbors off the board, Marvin Harrison. You're going to have the Bailey kid, or what's his name? The Shaun King thinks is the best in the draft. What's the receiver Shaun King likes from the other kid, I think, at LSU?
Oh, Thomas.
Then you got Udeze. You got Dunze. You got all these dudes out there, plus the kid at Oregon. You got the kid at there's a lot of kids out here.
You got Jermaine Burton at Bama, who's solid. You got with Troy Franklin at Oregon. You got some cats. That's all I'm saying. You know, Florida has that guy.
Even Jerry Rice's kid is going to probably go for. Jerry Rice's kid will probably go early second round.
Right. So I'm just saying, if you are looking for a good, solid receiver in this particular draft, you can stick at 28. But if you fall in love with somebody, because remember, that's how the Niners got Jerry Rice in 1985. They had an aging Freddie Solomon. Bill Walsh said, okay, we like this Rice kid out of Mississippi Valley. And they jumped right ahead of the Cowboys. The Cowboys liked Jerry Rice. Bill Walsh loved him, jumped in front of him. So, again, we'll see.
It'll be interesting draft. That's all I do know. A white kid came off the bench last night and dropped 50.
He's not white, bro.
The NBA is fucking horrible.
He's not white, bro.
He's white. He's white.
Interesting.
He's Bailey. That's Bailey. Our producer dropped 50 last night off the bench.
Hey, isn't it great? Isn't Jokic going to win the MVP again? Isn't he the odds-on leader?
Yeah. Well, him or probably Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Probably give it to Jokic, though.
Breaking news, Julius Randle is having season-ending surgery for the Knicks are done.
First round exit then against Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jokic. It should be a four-peat.
Hey,
the only guy that stopped the four-peat was Kendrick Perkins, but yeah. Most athletic of all time, and this doughy white guy is just racking up MVPs. Wow.
I know in an era that
last year, Embiid won last year, so this would be his third MVP in 4 years.
Third
out of four, yeah.
And they tell me Larry Bird could not play in today's game. But anyway, let's move forward.
I was about to say that. Hey, would Caitlin Clark get a buck? Was she scoring a big three?
No. I mean, she'd score eventually, but would she have problems getting her shot off? Yes, she'd be muffled.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Nah, the second part, what you said, would she score at some point? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, would a ball come in and it'd be a
just off the natural moving around.
Right.
Yes.
Would there be a layup?
On, bro.
But I'm just telling you. Could you imagine Patrick Beverly just saying, okay, girl, let me show you something about men's basketball.
Right.
It blows my mind, Steve, that these cats really believe. Like, you're not even going to get a shot off on Steven Jackson, 45 years old, in Big Three. Sorry.
Well, he's 6'7". He probably not going to be guarding her, but.
Well, they're all that tall in the Big Three. Smitty, who do you got? Abdul Raif, who's 6'3"?
I'm just telling you.
She'll score when we feel sorry, and Ice Cube says, hey.
Look, would she have open shots? Would someone lay off her? Yes. But on a consistent level, her trying to even put the ball on the floor and making progress would be very difficult. The reach of these guys' arms and just the ability to get on top of a shot, it would be very difficult for her to score consistently or even get clean looks.
Well, hold on real quick. I'm with you. Consistently, no one says he's going to average 12 points. JB has came on this show and asked me directly, could she just score? And we've all watched and played basketball. It's not as if even the great defenders, they're not just for the entirety of the game, just this close on you. And she has crazy range, and all she needs is a little bit of space to make a shot, like you said. Like,
but Smitty, if I'm a guy and I'm Matt, but Smitty, think about the male ego. If I'm on national TV, do you want to be the guy that, man, Caitlin Clark cooked that dude?
But
I'd be like,
again,
no, but
making a shot ain't cooked. That's all I'm saying.
Right,
like,
but
she can make a three.
If I am the coach of that opposing team, I'm going to go old school Greg Williams. I'm going to put up a bounty. Every block shot, I'm giving you $50. Every time you rip the ball for her, $50. But every time she scores, I'm taking $500.
She might be really scaring y'all. You got to put a bounty against Caitlin Clark.
I am proving a point. I'm like, fellas, come here.
Hey, Steve.
Caitlin Clark's going to have a great game. Not against us. I'm going bad boys. I'm going bad. She comes into the paint. Bang! You want equal rights?
Hey,
equal left.
Steve, she scores when Ice Cube has a meeting and says, I'm paying this broad $5 million. Let her score. That is when she scores. Imagine this shot, Steve, coming from her hip, and then has to get it up and shot. Steven Jackson throws that shit in the third fucking row.
JB has not watched a single game, and I don't think Steve has either. So like,
because you're gonna play men, Smitty.
You ain't watched a single game, so it's hard to even argue with y'all when y'all haven't even watched her play. So
I've seen women's basketball, Smitty. Come on.
All I'm saying is y'all
couldn't beat a good Crenshaw high school team.
I get that we don't respect women in sports. I get it, but all I'm saying is to
say
that Kayla Clark couldn't make one. To say Kayla Clark couldn't make one shot, Steve.
I didn't say that.
Lord
I'm saying
Jesus,
she could not get her shot off consistently.
Well, I think we're saying the same thing then. JB's the one that's saying she couldn't even get one shot. I'm not saying you have to, like I said, she's gonna go average 20 and 10 and 5 in a big three.
She couldn't score. I'm telling you, she can't score.
Okay.
Hey Steve, real quick before you get out of here, 2 minutes. I want to ask you a question to address somebody in the chat that we have a historian on the show right now. Please break down the difference between Cheryl Miller and fucking Caitlin Clark. I want to be clear here to Joe Accord in the chat that said Cheryl Miller played against nobody when she played. And this era of women's basketball is better than when Cheryl Miller played.
Well, it may have been, but Cheryl Miller was 2-3 generations ahead of her time.
Three at least.
She had great length, good size, and she's among the most complete ball players. She could play multiple positions. She had an unbelievable amount of guts. She had a lot of moxie, great skill. She could post you up a little bit. She could face up. She had range. Look, she was a big thing. She grew up in Riverside, athletic family. People remember Reggie. I also remember the other brother, Darrell Miller, was a major league catcher. So she came from a great gene pool. I mean, you're talking about 3 multi-big time athletes, but Cheryl Miller could do more on the floor in my view. She could rebound. She was tough. She'd get under people's skin. When I think of women's basketball, she's one of the first people I think of, her and Lisa Leslie, because of their size and the fact they're from LA. And so I'm a little biased there. Lisa Leslie was from, I believe, Inglewood. I think she went to Morningside High School, scored 100 points, I think, in like a game.
High school,
half. Yeah, so obviously she was playing against a lot of short Asians from Alhambra or something. But, when I think of women's basketball who are multifaceted, I do think of women like Cheryl Swoops. There it is. That big hater. Good.
Yeah, but
she's a great player though,
Yeah, right now we're just talking about college though, and like the all-time college greats. And
Cheryl was a great college.
For sure. All these players
Lynette Woodard was another pioneer. And I talked to a lot more women's college basketball than I thought I would today.
Joe, I want to ask you a question in the chat real quick. Kim Mulkey was a phenomenal player in college, just FYI. Do you think her and Caitlin Clark had similar games? I just want to ask that question to you. Kim Mulkey got to the paint, by the way, much better than Caitlin Clark did.
By the way, I want to mention one women's college basketball player that I really like, because she handled the ball very well. It was a point guard out of Long Beach State. I happened to see her a few times. I remember prime ticket was Penny Toller. Penny Toller from Long Beach State had handles.
Olympian.
Yeah, she was slick. Now, her game, I was like, you know what, lady, you can play the ball game. I went to Long Beach State last year for a Golden Boy promotions fight, and she's up there. They had a bunch of murals of Byron Russell, guys that played there, and I saw Penny Toller. I had to give her a thumbs up and a salute. Penny Toller could play. Another a really good little guard from the late 80s, Jennifer Azzi out of Stanford. She was an All-American. I liked her game. She's kind of like a Bobby Hurley type.
Hey.
But there should be no slander of Miss Cheryl Miller. She can play.
Here. No, they're talking about eras, and I was looking at the eras, and I'm like, oh, the women competition at that time was unfucking believable. I said, Kim Mulkey, by the way, my point was Kim Mulkey was really, really good, one of the best players in the country at that time. Cheryl Miller fucking locked her down in the tournament.
When Reggie Miller was still developing at UCLA, I'll never forget this line from Curry Kirkpatrick. Great all-time.
Girl can't lock down Caitlin Clark. That's my point.
Yeah.
Kim Mulkey was 5'4" though. But
it's a little different. Kim Mulkey
5'4" and Cheryl Miller was 6'2". She better lock her down.
Cheryl Miller was so good that when Reggie Miller was a young, developing player at UCLA, Curry Kirkpatrick, who was a hilarious writer at Sports Illustrated, he was their main college basketball guy. And UCLA was going through some issues with Walt Hazzard in their first year. Nobody knew what Reggie Miller would become. He was just this long, stringy beanpole guy. And he said, Reggie Miller. He said, yeah, it's the first player in UCLA history who'd get his butt kicked by his sister in a game of one-on-one.
Yeah, and Reggie admitted that.
Until one day when Cheryl Miller said, get your skinny ass up. And all of a sudden, he rose from bed and he kept rising. and Rising. And he looked up and Reggie said, yeah, Cheryl said, yeah, those days are over. I beat you.
Reggie became Reggie. Yeah.
I same thing. I couldn't.
But Cheryl Miller was great. I mean, she played in a different era. But so did Jim Brown. Jim Brown played against a lot less melanated men than Walter Payton and then Eric Dickerson. But Jim Brown was another guy 3 generations ahead of his time athletically. Jim Brown to me is Mount Rushmore.
We got our main man live from Miami on the course, on the Trump Doral course, live right now, calling in with my boy Pat Perez. So shout out to you. Palooza, if you want this weekend, let me know.
Yeah, let me know. I'll let you know what the weather's like. If it rains, I'll be rained out. But if not, I'll make the drive down there.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate it, guys.
Peace.
Achilles.
Achilles.
What up? Oh, yeah, okay. Hold up 1 second.
No. You're good. You're good. I'm messing with you. We can hear you. What's going on, my guy?
All right. What's up?
I want you just to fucking yell in Pat's ear right now in his backswing.
He's up here. I got to get him right here with the crew. We got Pro Golf Critic right here. My boy Jay.
Okay. What up, brother? Hey, how's the weather? Cloudy?
It's fucking good, dude. It feels nice, man. It's about 78. Fucking breeze, dude. All I need is a beer in my hand right now.
Have they already teed off?
Yes. Pat walks like he's fucking Usain Bolt, so I'm trying to catch up to him right now.
We lost your voice.
Hold on.
There you are. You said they teed off, what, hole 1?
Yeah, they teed off on 1. We're walking on 2 fairway right now. Yeah, fucking let's go. Fuck it.
Hey, so what's it looking like right now? So the 4 aces, let me get my hat on.
I don't got my shit on yet. Should. But
representing 4 aces right now.
Dude, it's pure out here, man. It's drought, man. It's a big boy golf course. It's 7,700 yards. One of the holes, I think one of the par 5s is playing like 680, which is unheard of.
Damn. 680 yards. Smitty would take 21 shots to get to that motherfucker.
No, for sure. I'm the worst golfer you know. Trust me.
But I got Ron winning this week though.
You got Ron winning. Who's Pat? Who they start off Pat with?
They're doing it like they're playing 9, and then they got another pro playing 9. So he's playing by himself right now.
Oh, he's by himself. So
yeah, I'm about to go over this fucker shot. Just pipe one fucking down the fairway.
So it's not shotgun today, huh?
Hold on. Come here. Yeah.
Hey, it's not shotgun today, huh?
Yo,
look at
bitch.
this fucking slapdick. God damn it.
What up, bitch?
Look at this fucking hat, bitch.
What's going on, Pat?
What are you lying about? Hey, what are you lying about today?
Everything.
It's good seeing you. It's good seeing you last week. Appreciate seeing you last week. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. Appreciate it.
Shit, I'm still waiting on my invite to Silver League.
Hey, Pat, can you go win the fucking tournament? Jesus Christ.
Bro, this place is hard.
Are we even fucking trying here?
No, we're not. We are.
I'll see you next week, though.
Peter, behind the tree.
Pat, other than yourself, you got winning this week.
Hey, is Trump out there yet?
He might come Sunday. I don't know.
Yeah, he ain't playing today.
No, but he might come out Sunday. I don't know. He's got a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He's got a country to save.
Oh, does he?
God damn. Just go win the bitch, will you?
Yeah, here, he's about to flip this motherfucker.
Be quiet, JB. Be quiet, JB.
I don't care. He's a ball striker. The best ball strikers in the country right here. Lining up.
I can't flip. I don't know how to flip this shit on here, dog.
No, you good. You good.
You good. That was it. That was him.
Yeah, we can see.
Pat lost more weight.
Pat looks slim.
Pat lost more weight. I've gained fucking weight.
Pat look in shape like me.
Hey, could it be any windier? God damn.
Windier in hell here.
God damn.
Super windy. Golly.
Supposed to fucking rain here.
Hey, show age.
We want to see the. Hey, you had it perfect. Oh, hey, what up, H?
How's it going?
Hey, this is the great Pat Perez's caddy, his whole career. They went to high school together. My main man, H.
Nice to meet you, H.
How's it going?
You good?
Good.
Good. Are we live?
We
Yeah,
live, so don't say anything crazy.
Hey, there's about 30. Hey, there's about 3,100 people live in here right now. By the way, so don't say nothing crazy. Pat can say shit crazy, but not you. There's Pat. He don't give a fuck.
I'll behave.
In fact, we got about 3,100 people in here with Pat, and then you got everybody watching on the fucking CW, so we're good.
On CW, in cafe.
Are you coming out next weekend?
Yes, I'll be there.
We'll be there.
Somebody watch those mutts.
I'm hiring somebody.
You got to bring him out, Coach.
I did that. I tried that, and then fucking Ash tried to eat Paxi.
Yeah, I know. My dogs be appetizers for those dogs.
Yeah, no shit. What's Miami like, man? It's good right now? Windy, huh?
The course is absolutely pure. It's the best I've seen it. Pat's played here since 2002.
Damn.
Yeah, it's windy today. It's blowing about 20 miles an hour.
Sheesh.
Damn. Hey, so what's the setup for today? Is today, tomorrow, Saturday, or is it tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday?
Today's the Pro-Am. Tournament starts tomorrow.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Got it.
Yep.
Who's he starting? Who's he matched up with tomorrow?
We got Danny Lee and the guy from Finland.
All you need to know.
He's got a different name, but
all we need to know. We don't want to picture his name.
I think it's like Cali Samuja. I think
Cali.
Yep.
Exactly.
My guy Cali. Yeah.
All right, Big Smitty, looking it up. Big Smitty out there grinding.
I watch it. I know this.
Yeah. Good job. Yeah, he's one of the qualifiers from Abu Dhabi. Qualifiers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's windy as shit there.
Yeah, Pat's got 214 on this shot. It's playing about 235.
Really? You got it. Now, Ace, walk us through this shot. He's going to keep it low?
Yeah, he's going to keep it low. It's a 3-iron anyway, so it's going to be low anyway.
Smitty, he wants to keep it low because of the wind. You don't want to get the ball up in the wind.
Of course.
Get it? There we go. Yeah, we see him perfect.
Ooh.
He striped it, Coach. It's right at the pin.
Right at the pin.
And look at his shoes, too, y'all. Zoom in on Pat's shoes right now. Golly.
Was that a fucking
home, Coach?
Was that a fucking tip at the hat?
What's up?
Oh, look at this motherfucker here. God
How
damn.
you doing?
Hey, man. No, I'm not going to tell anybody who you are. You're behind the scene guy. I'll be coming to see you next week. But
yeah, he told me. I'm excited.
So you went to Hong Kong with them. Now you're in Miami.
Yeah.
Hey, can you Venmo me right now live so I can come out there?
Yeah, I would, but I don't know how to do that. My wife won't teach me.
Damn.
It's ruthless. Look at her.
Hey.
She's Venmoing you right now.
Hey, my girl.
Coach, so you got
I don't want to be on camera.
You literally have a face for radio.
Yeah, I do have a face for radio.
I'm an actor, okay? Do you mind? Coach wants to have a face for radio. I'm an actor. Okay? You are an actor. Yeah.
You are an actor.
Hey,
you are an actor. Hey, are you staying out of trouble in Miami?
Yeah. Just staying away from Pat.
What are you going to eat tonight?
Pat.
Pause. We say pause.
Oh, I see, JB. I thought we didn't say it no more.
Well, we have to say it to the older cat. He's my age.
Okay. Pause.
We don't say that funny shit on here, you know?
Dude, hold on. Here's the idiot.
God damn.
Pat, when can Big Smitty get the official invitation to your house, man?
Bro, anytime you want. Come with Coach next weekend.
See, Coach never invites me. Coach, he's keep me away from you for some reason. I don't know what it is.
The thing is, Coach isn't invited. He just shows up.
Sounds like JB.
Bring the dogs. Have Verner there.
Slap your mama. Bring all the action.
Hey, what are we cooking next week?
Shit, I haven't done a brisket in a while. Do that. Throw some ribs, maybe.
Some ribs.
Maybe deep fry a turkey. I haven't deep fried turkey in a while.
Let's do
But
some
ham maybe too.
Let's do some ribs. Some of JB's baked beans
this year.
Probably got to call. We might have to smoke a ham.
Yeah. Who's nothing better than that?
Yeah.
Nah, that's like, I say there's two things undefeated: pussy and new pussy. But these guys don't. Is Achille drunk?
Probably. I don't know. He's way back there.
Are you on his phone?
Yeah, he's on his phone.
I'm on his phone. I'm not on my
God
phone.
damn. This is the realest show on planet Earth. Everybody, sound the like. You get insight, morale, Trump. Hey, he said the court's unbelievable, huh?
Of course, unbelievable. I mean, it's absolute mint right now.
Hey, thanks for the invite.
Never come.
He can't invite you to everything, JB. Golly.
No, I can't even go to the shit. He invites me all the time. I fucking can't go to it.
Never
Why
go.
can't you go?
Two fucking dinosaurs at home.
Well, then you gotta come watch the dog, Smitty. I'll go.
Nah, go fucking send them dogs somewhere else.
Or you just come. And he'll fucking say his ass will stay home.
Yeah, that's how we gonna start doing things, right? Yeah, there we go, Pat. Yeah, I like that.
Hey, you just started second hole?
Yeah, goddamn, it's gonna take a month to play.
Well, who's the pro? Who's the pro? Or who's the amateur guy? Is there any celebrities and shit?
No, CC's about to. He's playing ahead of me, and Wayne's playing with Dustin. I don't know who the hell
Gretzky?
Yeah, I don't know who else they got out here. I didn't see. The tee times all day, so I don't have any idea.
Is Anthony Kim out there?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
How's he coming along better?
Yeah, he's doing good. I talked to him for a while. He, I mean, goddamn, the guy's been out of the game for 12 years. He shows up with his goddamn rental set or something. I'm like, bro, you got the time. It ain't the same game and equipment than when you left. So he's starting to work. I told him the first 2 weeks, I said, bro, you got to get your feet wet. I said, you've been out of this thing forever. So I've been talking to him, giving him some advice and all that kind of shit. Just told him, hey man, people are behind you, and just take it slow and get your feet wet again and get going. And he's coming. He's trying hard. He's doing good. So everyone's pulling for him.
Nah, that's sweet.
He's doing good.
Glad to hear that. I know I know he looked up to you. He's been looking up to you for a while.
I'm basically the only guy that knows him. Because he left in 12. He left the Houston Open in 2012. I mean, shit, no one out here. I mean, there's kids that were 5 when he left. Didn't even know. I mean, he never seen. I told him, I said, bro, you never seen kids like what is now. I mean, you got hundreds of kids that are 19 to 24. They're just superstars. Back in the day, we saw the Cat and Phil and Furyk and Ernie and Retief and Couples and all these guys, but they were all right, all 38 to 40, right? So he never seen anybody like him. He was a superstar back in the day, but now these kids are so young, they hit it 40 yards by everybody. It's just a whole different player. And I said, look, not just you need to get wrapped up in that, but you're gonna have to get your game going because these kids are ready every day. Every day. They work their ass off, they play hard, they hit it a mile. They're just so competitive. They're not afraid of anything either. So, but he's getting it. It's good. He's getting it. It's good. I think he'll be fine. He's got, a couple years to play and then kind of see what happens, but he'll get there.
Pat, do you feel like the overall play is a lot better now than it was I guess even 10 plus years ago?
Yeah. I mean, even the kids, like Spieth and JT and, you got, Brooks is still young and Patrick Reid and, there's so many young, good players now. It's unbelievable. Even out here, we get this Caleb Surratt and, Chikara and, Wolf. And, kids just hit it a mile. We got so many young kids that are so good now. It's incredible. The game, but I don't know. It's just it's a whole different, back in the day, the strategy of the game was to hit it and play and hit it on the green and try to make putts. Now these kids hit it a mile. They just hit it over all the shit. They hit as far as they can, hard as they can. And they just shorten the courses, and it's all speed. It's just different. I mean, technology has helped a little bit too, but the kids just are more athletic than they were back in the day. I mean, you're finding, back in the day, everyone was my size. They're 5'10", 5'8", not very big. And now you got all these kids that are 6'3", 6'4", monsters that don't really, realize that they can make a ton of money not playing football or baseball, and it's just a whole different generation of player.
Yeah, JB. Incredible. I mean, our athletes are a lot better than your athletes, JB. Is what he's saying.
Pat. Now, again, he's talking golf, not fucking basketball and football. They're worse than ever. Hey, Pat, real quick, somebody wants to know: do you have senior PGA aspirations?
Yeah, I do want to play I want to play the majors. I want to win one of the majors at 50. Or whatever. I will play a little bit of Champ Tour if I can. If they pull up the suspensions, but I'd love to. Why not? I mean, I've earned my right. I mean, I was top 50 all-time money when I left, so I earned my spot out there. They don't just give that away. So if I can play it, why the hell wouldn't I earn my spot? It's not like they're giving me anything. So I would love to. I'd definitely love to. think it'd be
Hell
fun.
yeah. There's your
All right,
answer.
boys. I'm gonna go putt. I'll hit you up later though.
All right, later.
All right, see ya. Thanks.
Go win that thing. Achilles, watch after my man right there. Make sure he don't get too fucked up out there on the course, and then make some putts.
Gotcha. Let's see if he makes this real quick.
All right. Watch the putt. That's a great putter, by the way. Shh. Gotta be quiet.
Oh, Chad, shut the fuck up, Chad. Don't say shit. D. Jones, shut up.
It's all right.
Man, this is great shit right here, brother. I appreciate you calling in.
Man, appreciate you.
Sure. Hey, and I'm playing with double P and H in the Houston program, so we're gonna be seeing a lot more of this.
Oh hell yeah! Hey, I might be in Houston with you on that one.
You better.
You better be
All right,
there.
brother. Hey, I appreciate you calling, man. Tell him I said what's up. I'll talk to you next week.
For sure, bro. Appreciate y'all.
BJ.
Sure. All right then, AJ. All right, man. Clap it up, man. Clap it up.
Hey, I don't know if there's any show that would have got that.
Nah, no show would have got that. Live.
There ain't no show in the country that did that. Shout out to
Live.
Achilles. Shout out to Achilles for doing that shit. That was fire. Shout out to him. We set that up. Obviously. So I'm not gonna say who the guy was, but you saw the guy that came in and say what's up?
I know exactly who he was, yeah.
And his wife.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even tell you the amount. But it ain't with an M.
Right.
His account don't start with an M.
And it don't start with a 1 either.
He goes everywhere with that. Put it this way, he's been on planes with Phil when he was in the height of his let's say degenerate
Phase.
proclivities.
Don't say too much.
H, by the way, H's caddy's been with him his entire career from front to bottom. They both went to high school together. Tori went to school together. They grew up together, neighbors, and Pat's kept them the whole time. In this league, Smitty, they rotate caddy. They get rid of caddies. They think they're always the guy. You got to get rid of a guy. He's kept H his entire career. H is a great dude. Comes through all the time. But all those guys out there, man, they've been hitting me up. They wanted me out there this weekend. I was like, fuck, man, I would love to, but I got my buddy's funeral tomorrow. That was the number one thing. I could do this show just like Killy just did it with us. We could do that. Smitty and I, we could do that anytime. Smitty and I will probably have to get on the road eventually as well, live in person. Once we get in studio, we'll be doing live things and other shit too. So we got about 7 minutes before our great QB analyst, as this show continues just to get better and better. I gotta take a piss though.
I'm about to explode right now.
A Russian racehorse. If you don't know what that does and how that takes a piss, go look it up.
My shit is shaking like this right now. Like I've been holding the pee for so long. No, it's like this. It's like shaking. Like
I'm a brother, JB. We're gonna dive into it with Shaun King, and we're gonna talk about the best available quarterbacks, the best available draft picks. Period. And we're going to talk a little bit Colorado football with Shaun King as well.
We might show a little film if y'all act right, but who knows? You got to stay here to find out. Pound that like button. Go to Winnable. Subscribe right now. Subscribe. So look, go to Winnable. Download Prospects. Download Betonline. Go get our what else we got, JB? Follow us on here. Subscribe on here. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. What else you got, JB?
Look at that film.
Ooh, nobody else show that.
Don't make you break it down like us. Shaun King and I is going to break down Tua since he's a left-handed quarterback, and we're going to break down why he doesn't think or does think Penix can get it done as a left-handed draft pick. We're going to dive a little more deeper into that than when we did with Matt. Stay tuned. We will be back in 5. What time did we start the show 4 years ago? What time were we doing it? How long? 4 years ago? I don't know. It's pandemic. It was. It was before COVID, homie. What do you mean? COVID had shit yet, homie. Hey, look at that.
Hey, look. And climbing.
That was another name, too.
That was a cat picture. That was a cat picture. I gotta find it. What's going on? Y'all just made me a Big Smitty, man. We got JB in the building. My man Spree. Roy in behind the 1 to 2 with the camera. And welcome to the Coach JB Show, Big Smitty live in the fucking cigar lounge. What you doing, JB? What you got going on?
Drinks, cause I'm like a bitch in this motherfucker.
JB ain't got no AEs, y'all. He been talking about this all week. I got all the lows and all the AEs. There ain't not an AE in here. Come on now.
It's been on slow. I can't wear this on a shirt. You know what I'm saying? My man blows to be out there on it.
Big Smitty, Trail.
Shit.
JB.
I lived the wrong end, y'all. We turned up, y'all. It's all good. Players fuck up. I lit the wrong, I cut the wrong side.
Ah, damn, this motherfucker's drunk already.
I just smoked other cigars I've never done before in my life. I'm
nervous.
I don't know why this shit ain't me.
Nervous.
Wow.
No, take that off. Because you don't smoke it that way. Throw that out.
I can't wait till the cigar.
Now I gotta stop 3,000 cigars to this motherfucker. I'm the guy that has to do everything around this motherfucker. I'm carrying the whole fucking squad.
I got it right now. I like this side though, JB.
Yeah.
But you can't handle the big boy. Everybody stop playing with me. I don't smoke like that though. Everybody know that.
Yeah, my mother's smoking cigars.
I am married, homie. Hold up, it makes sense. I am not married. You are.
How you a leader of me?
Because I'm not married.
You fuck everything.
Yeah, you do.
Short, S-tier, motherfucking D.
Short, fat, skinny, and tall. Short, fat, skinny, and tall. I fuck them all. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Well, you did get hot before, JB, on accident.
That happened.
I know with you. Yeah. We reshare the story of everybody.
Everything with him.
Reshare the story, please, about the.
I mean, I was trying to take this motherfucker to his house, and for 3 hours, we could not make a right turn. So we kept making a left-hand turn on everything.
It's only like 3 hours, but it's at least like 30 minutes.
Right.
Let's go. Long time. Motherfucker, all we can do is laugh, homie.
Smitty, I'm gonna tell you right now, his front door was where that TV is.
Right.
And this is the street. And you're in the right side passenger.
Yeah.
I'm right here. I'm driving where he is.
One-way street.
You're street. Alright? He's me, you're him.
Yeah.
That's his door. That's his door.
One-way street.
Right here.
It's a one-way street.
Right.
We driving right here.
Yeah.
We do not stop to get out and go in that door. He kept going and making a left and getting out on the main street and kept going all the way around the block.
Y'all saw the house.
Saw the house. His door's right there.
He couldn't see me stop after he motherfucker kept hitting.
Y'all never stopped the switch and you drive to the
He
hill.
couldn't drive, homie, so he looked at me, I looked at him, his motherfucking eyes, his blood started raining, his head started falling back on the seat. He couldn't even hold his motherfucking head up.
I wouldn't hire you to the motherfucker saying.
Yeah.
He said,
no, first of all, we ate 2 gallons of Baskin Robbins, homie.
No.
Gallons.
At first, we had the chocolate chip cookies.
That's what
we dropped this girl off at work. She had a bag of chocolate chip cookies. We don't smoke.
Dropped off at work.
I'm like, man, you know I love chocolate chip cookies, don't I? Man, give me that shit. That shit ain't gonna do nothing.
Pretty tell you that I only fucked the strippers, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
My baby mama.
JB fucked with a lot of bad bitches. I ain't gonna even front on that shit.
That was 34 years ago.
He still, yeah.
Got a cool little vibe going.
Real cool vibe. If you lay it down the street.
Stop ducking my question. You talk all that shit. Don't answer my question. Who the fuck are you?
Oh, he called your ass out. I love the energy though. He calling you out.
Yo, Coach JB, you keep ducking my question. What's your question? Who are you? You're a nobody. What are we talking? Who are you? I'm supposed to know who you are and answer your questions? Get out of here, you fucking bitch. God damn. Shaun King's on the other side. He's working his camera. This motherfucker, he probably asked me a question like 6 months ago, Smitty, and this motherfucker really thinks I'm waiting to answer this motherfucker question.
Stop ducking my question. I don't know you, brother.
Shaun King, the great NFL analyst, Tampa Bay Buccaneer legend, Tulane Green Wave legend. Shaun King, welcome, man. Welcome.
What's up? What's up?
Well, Shaun, we had a loaded show today, man, so we're not having one tomorrow. So we've had all these guests on. Appreciate you coming on 30 minutes later. I want to get straight to brass tacks right now with you. You and I think alike for the most part. And then we always have to make Smitty feel happy and give him a bone.
I love disagreeing. I love it.
I got to ask you, first of all, right out the gate. I'm talking Colorado football. Practice has been showing a few practices, and Smitty and I got into a heated debate yesterday about Deion addressing his team and how genuine it is when you use phones and prompts. Then we saw my main man in Atlanta address the team in the NFL for the first time, and he walked around, no paper, no prompts, nothing, genuine coaching. How far does that travel? Genuine coaching. Players look at you and see if you're reading a damn.
Such a leading question. Such a leading question.
And the Eagle. We're the Eagle, like fucking Solid did last year. That
Such
shit.
a leading question right here. Like the way I love it. I love it.
Where are you at? How bad? No, seriously, note though, you coached. Like, how serious is that? Genuine coaching is a real thing, right?
I think it is, but I think it's more about consistency. Just be who you are. I mean, if you're a note card guy, then be a note card guy. If you're a PowerPoint guy, be a PowerPoint guy. If you're an off-the-cuff guy, be an off-the-cuff guy. I just think it's about being consistent.
That's a great point, because I was off the cuff guy. Everything I do, the show, fucking everything, off the cuff guy.
And there's more ways to skin a potato, more way to skin the cat. Because you did it off the cut don't mean that's the only way to do it. That's the best way to do it. Everybody be who they are. I love it.
Fair point. Yeah, I'll
Great
go
point.
back to the Eagle and the Crow statement later. The Eagle and the Crow. I think Shaun's losing the connectivity. There you go. You good?
Yes.
There's a couple things here. This first video shows kind of a late, a one-handed ball thrown, and then he caught it, and like prima donna wideouts do, and then he throws the ball at the DB. We see that a million times in our careers. No big deal. The issue I have is that it continues to happen, and then you get this play. Whistle's blown right there. This is a 5-6 more yards to go, and then he continues to go through. Clearly a late hit. We clearly have to discipline that as a coach, or you start to lose the locker room. Where are you at with that? Because that was Shiloh, Deion's son. So I'm playing devil's advocate. It's very hard. I would never want to coach my son, number one. Number two, it's very hard as a head coach coaching your kids, because I know my buddies of mine that's coached their kids. It's very hard. But when do you lose the team from that point?
I just think they have 4-8 practice habits. Georgia's not practicing like that. Alabama's not practicing like that. Michigan's not practicing like that. Like Tony Dungy said it best. Why would I accept something in practice and not accept it in the game? You can't throw the ball at a player's head after a touchdown in the game. If the whistle blows in the game, you can't hit a guy after the whistle. It's habits. And I think a lot of it is also the fact that I think Deion provides too much access. So the kids always know the camera's on. So what can I do to gain attention to make this specific YouTube clip or episode, get more likes or views? So,
that's the old head in us. I think we keep talking to Smitty, just don't grasp that concept. I don't know why. I hope that you could get through to Smitty today in this. I
hear what y'all saying. I'm always disagree. It just comes with age. I was born in '94. We just different. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all don't understand the social media world and the content world, which is okay. I don't think y'all wrong. It's just a different way to do it,
But the thing is, Tony Dungy wasn't going to put his kids in harm's way, and Shaun King and JB is not going to put at our level babies in harm's way, because they're still babies, dog. We want to talk about 18 being grown men. They're babies, and at the end of the day, we're not putting a target on their chest and keep flossing on social media, because that's when the white boy hits Hunter out of bounds in a Colorado State game. Like, I'm just saying, this is the things that happen. Like, this is real shit. And I don't think Deion has the experience as a coach yet in that regard.
A lot of quotes. I'm not going
to say he's not going to be great. I'm not saying I don't like. I'm just saying that coaching experience is a hands-on one. And it takes experience to learn these little nuances. And he has the access to everyone. That's why I'm hard on him, Smitty. He has Donny Dungy access. He has access to anybody he wants. He can call anybody in the NFL, the historical greats, anytime he wants, from Nick Saban to Bill Belichick. And that's that's the part I fight. Like, go learn this shit. Go get these nuances. And that's why I think if you allow it, you don't coach it. Period. And I would never let a quarterback take a snap without a center or without a hand. And that's because you're not in the game. Like Shaun said, you don't practice these things. It ends up being in the game. This is what you do. Kids only know what they know and don't know what they don't know.
I hear you. Shaun, let me ask you this real quick. In your years of coaching and playing football for as long as you did, those two plays that we just saw, it was one late hit in practice, and then there was a showboaty receiver. In your years of playing and coaching, have you ever during practice in spring or in summer seen either of those two things happen? Please, yes or no? I'm just curious.
Absolutely, but those
absolutely, like not even like this is a regular thing. So we're pointing out two plays that we saw from Colorado, and we're blowing it up. Like it's just like I just don't understand that right now.
Let me finish. I've seen that happen on teams I've coached and played on, and all those teams were not very good the following year. The championship teams I've been on just do not do that in practice.
All right.
1,000%. Hey, Smitty be coming in here, Shaun. Like, you and I are on the defense. He's the plaintiff, and I'm like a defense attorney coming in and shit.
Because, like, I feel like we're being nitpicky because it's Deion. I'm going to be real with you. We're being nitpicky, man.
I want Deion to succeed. I really do. I'm on record as saying I don't think Deion's there for the long haul. I think it's just there for his boys and Travis. Here's what I don't understand. They aren't doing like a live. This isn't like Instagram or TikTok live. This is something that's filmed and edited. I don't get why they're putting it out.
I said it yesterday.
Like, you can edit those things out of it. I don't get why they're in there. Like, that shows me a lack of true understanding of what it really takes to win a championship. And I'm not saying Deion doesn't know how, but Deion not going to play on any Saturday that the team goes out there. But is he looking at what Bucky's putting out? Or does Bucky just have carte blanche just to put whatever he thinks?
I think so. I think that's what it is.
Young players gonna like to see. Like, I mean, there's not a coach in the Big 12 worried about Colorado when they see that kind of stuff going on in practice.
No, that's the thing. I was like, dog, Deion ain't playing on Saturday, and neither is the 127 years of experience.
Call it right now, JB. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If we're going big picture, they're not talented and deep enough not to do all the little things right.
Thank you. God.
Hey, man, we going to see, man. As we get closer, I'm going to make a bet with both of y'all. Like, we'll figure out some over-under win total. We'll wait. We got so much time left.
We'll let Vegas pick. We don't gotta
let's let Vegas pick, and then we'll all make a bet, and I'm going to take y'all money. So,
hey, let's dive into this real quick. I want to dive into the trade, Stefan Diggs. I said the Bills got better. Addition by subtraction is a real thing. And I said Houston caught cancer, unfortunately. CJ's a good kid. I talk to CJ quite often. Tank Dell played for me. Those two kids are going to come on the show. I just hope that those kids that were on a trajectory of greatness after 1 year taking over a bad franchise, to your point, Lovey helped out with. And then I just hope that Stefan doesn't ruin one bad apple ruins a whole batch, and I just don't want to see that. I've talked to coaches personally who coached Stefan in Minnesota, good friends of mine, and they said absolute shitbird. And I'm not going to say who said it, of course, but that's what was told to me, so that's why I'm saying it. Obviously, you want to leave Kirk Cousins. You want to leave Josh Allen. There's a problem, and I don't care what anybody says. You're not leaving those guys unless something else is bigger picture. And I just hope he doesn't ruin a great room already with Tank, Nico. We haven't even seen Michi, who's recovering from cancer, a great young talent. We don't even know what he's done yet. They got a good nucleus. Mixon is a pass-catching back who also helps in the pass game. Out the backfield now, they got Schultz. This is a loaded offense. Hopefully they get a couple pieces up front. I would like to see him go get defense and even help even further. And they try to compare this long-winded take I have for you to Mike Evans, Godwin, Tom Brady. Then they try to compare it to the Rams going all in and going to get this talent and got OBJ week 9 of the season. It's not even close, Shaun. This is a nucleus that is young without a veteran QB, and the head coach in both instances were the play callers. This is a defensive coach now who's not going to be 100% hands-on on that side of the ball with the Diggs and those things. And I just think I hope it works out. I do, because I love CJ and Tank. I just don't know if it will.
I like it simply because I think CJ is talented enough to handle it. You think at Ohio State, at one point, he was throwing to Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jackson Smith and Jig with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Thank you.
So, this is why it makes sense to me. If it was a situation where a young quarterback wasn't as capable, I'll probably have a bigger issue. Plus, I trust DeMeco Ryans. I really do. I don't think that Buffalo has real leadership. I think as talented as Josh Allen is, that's probably the one aspect that he's still maturing. And that's really being like a true leader of the football team. You had Von Miller getting into whatever he was getting into. Gabe Davis always looked kind of semi-happy, not really happy. Revolving door running back. So I thought Buffalo as an organization like true leadership. So it allowed Stefan to kind of get away with certain things. But I think it's a different situation in Houston. I like the addition and the fact that they didn't have to give up a whole lot. I mean, a second rounder next year, as good as they anticipate being, hopefully be, late second round pick.
Let me ask you this. Explain the difference, or explain how real NFL quarterbacks entering their sophomore year, the sophomore slump quote, how real that is when a book is out there on you by NFL DCs, NFL talented players. We have a book on you. How real is that? And is that a concern, I guess, for a sophomore kid entering his second year who probably exceeded all expectations last year as a rookie in that organization? We didn't know what to expect, especially not winning a playoff game. Do you see or foresee any sophomore slumps? And will you add in the Diggs edition? Do you see that being an issue, good or bad?
I don't see it with CJ, and this is why I like, especially when I'm evaluating quarterbacks, the kid to have more than one productive year in college. I mean, you look at CJ when he lost Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and came back, he turned Jackson Smith and Jigba into a first-round draft pick. He lost Smith and Jigba. I don't know, he turned Smith and Jigba Harrison into, not saying they weren't, but the production didn't slip. Like, it showed me that he's a kid that's going to work on his game. It's going to continue to develop personally. So I'm not as worried about it with him. A guy in college that only had one great year probably would be a little more concerning. But, the thing that young guys in the NFL have to learn, especially when you become a celebrity, time management. All the stuff that you're going to do, you need to have that real early in your off season. And then as it gets closer to OTAs and training camp, you just got to start cutting a whole lot of stuff off and be all football. And then make sure that you're getting your rest and you're taking care of your body.
Let's dive into this draft picks with you for a few minutes. Caleb Williams is probably one in Chicago. I think he was in his visit as we speak in Chicago. And then you got, the Commanders, the Patriots. Probably all three of those guys take quarterbacks. What order they go in? You like JJ climbing up the board as in McCarthy. We'll see if the Patriots take a leap at him, or are they going to take May, or are they going to take Penix? We don't know. I want to dive into your professional take on this because I've dove into it a little bit. They've heard me enough. Explain to the fan base what it takes for an organization to draft a left-handed quarterback. And I don't know. I've discussed everything from the left tackle now being the right. That's your backside guy. He's got to get the money as well. Does that roster have those capabilities? Is the play caller cognizant enough to understand the hashes matter with the lefty, especially on third down. If I got to sprint him out on third and long, I got to make sure I get on second down to the right hash. There's a lot of things that go into it. Explain that. And Bailey, can you bring up the film while we do so? I'm gonna pull up Tua, Shaun, just for comparison standpoint. Just so we can kind of show my bad. Just so we can kind of show a comparison of what a lefty is going to look like in this draft in Michael Penix.
So let me first say, I don't think it's as significant in the National Football League as it is in college. If you notice these hashes, right, you see where they're at. The left and right hash are basically both in the middle of the field.
Yep.
In college, that left hash is 5-6 yards above the numbers, and that right hash is 5-6 yards above the numbers. So the opposite field throws are significantly longer.
Yeah.
But every organization, when you take away the owner, has three pillars: the GM, the head coach, and the OC. And a lot of those guys have a lot of ingrained habits, quirks, and most of them have never grown up having a left-handed quarterback. And in a perfect world, they just rather have a conventional one. So when there is an option and the kid's left-handed, everybody's got to be on board. Everybody's got to be comfortable with it. If you notice, the Dolphins organization was more comfortable with Tua than their former head coach was. He didn't like Tua at all. McDaniel got the opportunity to get a head coaching job, and he just embraced everything.
Yeah.
Now, if you're the Dolphins, to me, it's not so much about Tua being left-handed. It's about, is Tua really good enough to win you a championship? Because I think he's a marginal athlete, and I think he has marginal arm talent. He makes up for it sometimes with anticipation and football IQ, but just from a skill standpoint, I don't view Tua as a top half of the league quarterback.
Me either. So speaking of drafting a lefty, I just want to go through these teams before we show a little Tua and explain the difference. Of course, there's a difference in him and Penix. I think Penix ball's livelier, his arm's livelier, but obviously, what team would Penix fit? So Chicago's probably not happening. You got the Commanders at 2, the Patriots at 3, Arizona, unless they're ready to part ways, I doubt it. Probably not taking a Q. Chargers aren't taking a Q. In essence, the Chargers really got the number 1 pick in this draft, in my opinion, because they're not taking a Q.
The Cardinals, though, probably, right?
You got the Giants at 6, Tennessee at 7, Falcons at 8. They're not taking a Q now. Bears back at 9. Jets aren't taking a Q at 10. Minnesota at 11. Where does he fit, knowing any of these rosters, as far as does my left tackle that we both know don't want to play right tackle? They don't care who the quarterback is. I don't want to move over there, and I better get left tackle money at right tackle if my QB's left-handed. A lot of cats don't talk about that. Where are you at with what roster can actually suit Penix?
Well, here's what's going to be interesting. If nobody trades up, 11, 12, and 13 are interesting. You're talking about the Vikings, Broncos, Raiders, back to back to back. All who probably would love to have one of these young quarterbacks. So to me, if nothing happens at the top of the draft from a trade standpoint, that's where it gets really interesting. So I think Penix is better than Drake May. I think Penix is better than Bo Nix. As much as I think JJ has all the things it takes, I would take Penix over JJ just because I think Penix is so much more talented. Like that kid, man, if he didn't have those injuries, and he's played the last 2 years injury free, but if those injuries weren't in his portfolio, then people be talking about him at number 2 because I think he has that kind of talent.
How much does the injuries plus being left-handed magnify the GM's decision on, all right, he's a lefty, southpaw's rare. We've seen there's only been a few Steve Youngs, a few Mark Brunells, a few Boomer Esiasons. We haven't had a ton of great lefties. We've had some good ones, but I'm just saying, is that going to weigh on this decision too?
Yeah, it gives you an out. And the fact that he's 24. So, I mean, if you want to eliminate, if you're having trouble creating the order for the quarterbacks, you want to eliminate one of them, you got enough things people inside the building probably will agree on to push Penix down. So that way, if you don't take him and he turns out to be the best of this bunch, you can say, well, you know, we had the 2 knees and the shoulder, and you know,
right.
He was left-handed. The OC didn't like it. You know, he was 24. So I mean, you can talk yourself out of that one.
Right.
But the talent's undeniable.
Let's show some film in comparison to what it'll look like for Penix. Obviously, it won't be on this team, and then we'll get into some C.J. Stroud in Houston real quick as a new person to break down. But this is on the left hash, basically in the NFL, which, like you said, doesn't really matter. But it's also this is a first down play. They're an empty. Obviously, the protection changes, which a lot of people don't want to talk about, and I broke it down last week. When you're a left-handed quarterback, you need to put your hot or side adjust in his throwing hand, which will be in his left side, and now slide everything away to protect the backside compared to what we usually would do with a righty being flipped. It's a big thing that no one talks about. So now we got to orchestrate and change a lot of shit as a play caller and as a schemer. I don't think anyone understands that. So on this side, for instance, the guy walked up is probably the fourth D in, but clearly there's nobody coming on that too high look. But if that safety were to roll down there, his hot now needs to be on his left, which we're already on the left hash, which now you can drop a defensive end, Shaun. You can play a little bit of games, fire zone him. And doing that to a rookie is a lot easier to do it than it is to us. So I don't know what you see in all this, but like Penix has to be ready to know the decision just like Tua just did. And all right, I'm an empty. This is what I got. I don't got to re-ID the protection. I don't got to slide it no particular way. This is who it is. A rookie as a lefty, probably going to a place that he's probably going to play fairly soon in, right? You would think. Right. Do you see any problems by drafting Penix, and does Shaun King stay away from Michael Penix in this draft?
I don't. And let me say, Mike McDaniel's passing game, their spacing is some of the best I've seen. And by that, the routes don't crowd each other. Everybody has a way. This is just terrible defense. Like this safety that's in the middle of the field, I have no idea what he's doing.
It's unbelievable.
I had no idea what he's
doing. There are two safeties right next to each other.
Right. That's just terrible defense.
He don't know what he's doing either, listen.
Yeah. Because they're obviously in man, and they're not in two-man because the guys aren't playing inside. So he's obviously supposed to be robbing the middle of the field. That's just terrible defense.
And now,
but to the left-handed quarterback thing, I think where it comes into play is a lot of these guys are lineage coaches, meaning they grew up under a certain coach, whether it be Andy Reid or Sean McVay or whoever. And a lot of those guys have certain tendencies. For instance, like I can tell you, most West Coast coaches, when shit hits the fan, they're in the red zone, they need a 2-yard completion, or they're on the 2 or 3 yard, they're going to run Q8. They're going to roll to the right and in a 2-man surface, run the return route outside and the quick out inside. That's what West Coast guys do. So where that gets you out of your comfort zone is now you got to call it to the left instead of the right. And it's just little things like that. When you
everything's opposite, it seems like, yeah.
Right. When you call bootlegs and play action passes, like, you know, some of those things, the left-handed guy's going to be more comfortable going against the traditional way you've called them. So it takes a little learning, but I think the talent, you know, if a guy like Penix is worth my OC being a little uncomfortable, having to be more cognizant of calling certain situational football plays.
Yeah, good take. Matt and I discussed this earlier this week too we talked about the same thing. It's like your boot naked game changes completely because O-line going to sell run this way. And now we're booting the opposite way. We got to change those things. CJ Stroud's rookie year right here real quick. Obviously, they're little 11 personnel or 12, whatever you want to call it, against Atlanta. Sophomore year, fast forwarding next year, which we'll have this segment and watch him live next year in his second year. What do you see defenses doing, I guess, to kind of cloudy his judgment going into a sophomore year where they're not going to let this guy, they don't want him to throw for 5,040 touchdowns next year after a 4,025 touchdown rookie campaign?
Here's what's interesting. His production was because of efficiency, not volume. And that's what makes Houston tough to defend. They are very balanced. They run the ball. They run enough quick game stuff. Like, you know, they make it very difficult to just pressure them because of the way they attack you. And like CJ is just so accurate throwing the ball. I mean, his ball location is tremendous. His poise under pressure is elite. I mean, he has a rare ability to be calm when it's chaotic. And he has a high football IQ, you know, so that's why he's productive. And they were productive whether they were healthy at receiver or unhealthy at receiver last year just because of his talent. So I just think they're going to be better. I think adding Danielle Hunter to that defense going to make them better on defense. I think they had a great offseason.
Shaun, this is what I don't even see Jalen Hurts, Lamar struggle with, Kyler Murray, Justin Fields. I see a lot of guys that have even been in 5-year veterans in this league right now, and it goes back to what we talk about in college, just the lack of coaching QB fundamentals. CJ comes in here knowing that I got a one high safety who's, for whatever reason, 20 yards deep, and then I got straight man across the board, knowing the slot defender cannot come. And now the yellow circled Mike backer on the screen is CJ's only what we used to call danger player.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows right now the yellow circle disappears, I make the slant throw. If he stays, I'm looking elsewhere in the progression. CJ, knowing this as a rookie, is very, very impressive, A. And in B, next year, what you may see is, instead of this look, you may see that's too easy for this kid. He's advanced. Now the DN that's on the ball, he drops off.
Mm-hmm.
They do the same thing, and now I throw a pick to the slant. So, like, there's things that defensive coordinators will do. But what do you see about his knowledge and his football IQ? We call it FBI, football intelligence, in this rookie year.
I think it's great understanding matchup. They're obviously playing man-to-man. He's looking for best matchup, shortest throw. You get Dalton Schultz matched up on a pure linebacker in 55. That's advantage Texans. It's easy out the peripheral to keep his eye on that end and sees if he drops, because he's also free releasing the back. So they're getting 5 out in the route. So he has options if Schultz don't get a release or that defensive end drops. So I just think this is a really good football play, good ID by the quarterback, understanding where his advantage was. 53 is kind of giving away what he's in because he's shading to the side of the back.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a big gap there. And it's a good play design.
Talk about CJ's eyes in the blue circle. Talk about his eyes. As soon as he takes the snap, his eyes are sitting there holding 53. He's not holding the free safety, contrary to a lot of the people in the chat's belief, because the safety's 23 yards deep. The 53 is his sole read key, and that's his, like I said, that's his alert player. So look at those eyes. Just that settle eye movement. 53 knew, oh, shit, the back is free. I'm chasing through the man to scrape through to the back. I got to chase this back. And his eyes told me, just for a second, as you and I know, quarterback's number one attribute, be a actor, salesman. You have to be an actor. And he's selling him on 53 right now that I'm going to throw the back. Boom, that's it. And he opens up the void, throws the slant backside, and now you got a big gainer.
I just love the fact that his eyes, feet match up with the route combination. Part of being an actor is saying the right line at the right time, right? I love the fact that he immediately gets back front side, gets rid of the ball accurately so his guy can catch and run. A lot of times young quarterbacks get so caught up in looking off the safety, they're late with this ball. And they give that defender a chance to get back involved in the play. So I just think this is great understanding, timing, ball location by Stroud.
And also, young quarterbacks we see, they would try to gun this ball.
Right. Great
touch.
Yeah, great touch on this pass. Well, he knows when to dial it up and when to dial it down. And the importance of this situation is the ball location. That ball is catchable ball right in a position where Schultz can see it, catch it, tuck it, run. If you notice, the one great thing about him, he gets rid of the ball on time and he throws a tremendously accurate football.
Mm-hmm.
This right here, great feet. Like I said, this is technical one-on-one. This is Ryan Day's best product by far, in my opinion. And his feet match up, like you said, but just that subtlety, stepping in the bucket right there. He's stepping out of bounds. You see so many quarterbacks now where we're throwing an out-cutting route or out-breaker, and you see his you see an out-cut, and you see their feet step downhill like a slant. And then you see balls thrown behind receivers. He's clearly stepping out of bounds, and that ball is also going out of bounds where only the receiver can catch it. His feet impress me with his eyes, and like you said, it's just in the ball coming out. It's coming out hot. It's a flick of the wrist. It's a three-quarter motion. You don't see elongated motion right here. That ball is gone. You're not seeing a wind-up. You're not seeing a wasted motion. You're seeing his platform, his off arm is I like to see it slap the wall behind him, but right now he knows where he's going. Boom.
Very efficient quarterback. Doesn't waste any motion. Very composed in the pocket. You know, I was telling you, he's just when I watched this film at Ohio State last year, I told Michael Lombardi, I was still at Vista at the time, this might be the most accurate quarterback I've ever seen. And he's a guy that's been able to match up traditional three-step with shotgun footwork.
Yep.
So he's not late throwing the quick game stuff.
And luckily, we got all three options here on the film. We get the wide, the tight, and the tight from both end zones. So it's great to break down. Shout out.
All he's doing is reading his safety here because young quarterbacks, it's kind of tough to tell sometimes in the NFL if they're playing cover 2 or quarters. And so what he's looking at is on the snap, is this boundary safety going to the numbers, or is he going vertical back down the field? If he's going vertical, then most likely it's some form of quarters. If he's widening, then there's probably some form of cover 2, and then this is a dangerous throw to the out route because that means this corner is a squat player and he can intercept it. So if you look at his head, he's going to this boundary safety just to see what his initial movements are, and he's getting depth, not width.
He backpedals, Shaun. I'm throwing it out right now. He gives me 1 ounce of backpedal. I'm out of there.
Yep.
So just for my clarity, because I've never been a coverage guy, so him seeing those safeties backpedal is a sign that they're in quarters, is what you're saying.
Yes, most likely.
Or
NFL,
two
they
match,
get
some
tricky.
sort
They
of
can
cover.
play quarter,
Nowadays
half, and
quarters
stuff.
match.
This is quarters because they could easily be playing cover 2 here.
Right. Yeah, it's like a quarter half look. My definition of quarter is a little different. The safety's probably tighter, filling the box in the run game, but the corner means the corner's out of there. Either way, this is a quarters match look where the corner's out of there. CJ knows the corner has that quarter of the field, and he's throwing that out cut.
Love it.
Let me throw one more and we get out of here. CJ's impressive, though. I've watched a shitload of film. I got every game last year, I believe, of the Texans. So, little inside zone, or actually truck, pulling a guard tackle, a little counter action with the Reid and the defensive end off the backside. So they're running counter to the right, and they're pulling it off the backside defensive end and reading that backer to either keep it or pitch it. It is just old school triple option. I love doing it with CJ because CJ is not necessarily a runner, Shaun, by nature, but he can at least get you something if he does want to pull it.
And look at the creativity. I think they got Tank Dell in the backfield, motion him to lighten the box. And this is really if the right tackle,
pull it.
If the right tackle gets a little more movement on 90, I mean, this might hit the running back might hit his head on the end zone.
Right there, that double team right there gets more depth. We got action.
Good job by that D tackle though by playing that. You know what I'm saying? He saw it coming, he stopped, held his ground. So you got to appreciate that. You know, those big guys get paid too.
You're right.
Yep. I would have liked the guard to help his ass. I would have cussed the guard out for not fucking you up, Smitty, because he didn't need to help out on the back block on the center. We don't need 2 hats on the shade. We need 2 hats on the fucking 3 technique. Whoever the fuck thought that he should have got up the field, Smitty, you're just horrible. You were horribly coached, Smitty.
Yeah, no, you're right. The guard didn't took because I mean the guy's his initial alignment is that of a true 3 technique. So the guard initial thought was like, I got to put some give him at least
that guard center, that guard tackle right there should be 6-inch stepping, deucing the shit out of that. That guard is leaving to a back block on a center that doesn't make sense to me.
I agree.
Like you could solo that, Shaun. Now in college we probably are doing that, but in the NFL, hey, everyone gets paid, so.
And 77 is playing too high.
Yeah,
not playing with leverage.
Yep. Is that the big boy? Is that the
right tackle?
Yeah, the right tackle. Yeah.
I love film, man. I love learning.
And that's why, though, to our point, take us back, Bailey. That's why, to our point, Shaun, that right tackle now, if I draft Michael Penix, is a liability because now he's my backside tackle, or am I taking, the big boy over to the right side? He's one of the best tackles in football on their left side. Is he comfortable in that right-hand stance? Because the stances change. So, got to be careful on who drafts Michael Penix. You think for surely foregone conclusion, Caleb is now 1, though, to Chicago?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jaden Daniels has no shot. Where does Jaden go?
I'm gonna say Washington. I really am. I think they're playing it close to the vest. I would say Washington. We'll see.
I know AP is trying to do whatever he can to get him, though, because those have a relationship. Obviously, AP recruited him right here out of Cajon High School in Cali to Arizona State. When AP was there, they have a tight relationship. They both made comments on social media that they would love it. I just don't think he can get high enough.
Yeah, I don't think the Raiders have enough.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they're going to give up 25 and 26 number one as well. You know what I mean? Like, because if you got 2 or 3 and you decide to trade down, do you really want to go to 13?
Right.
I mean, because now you kind of get outside of all the best of every position for the most part. You know, you're going to miss Joe Alt, whatever receiver you got ranked 1. You're going to miss the best pass rusher on your board. You know, so it's kind of like, and then it's not like they got an abundance of picks in this draft anyway. So I think the Raiders.
D. Jones, you just said the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my entire life on this show. You can't trade Devontae and get a quarterback.
Yeah,
dumbass.
I was gonna say the only way to move up would be to add in a Devontae or Max Crosby or something. And now,
right?
Hey, if you're AP, like you're on a short window, right? You gotta win and win now. So why would you want to give up your best offensive or defensive player?
Can't do it. And Max said the only other place he'll ever go is back home to Detroit and be a Lion if he ever were to leave the Raiders. Shout out, Shaun, as always. We're off tomorrow, but we'll see you next week, and hopefully we'll get to the draft. We're going to start doing some mock draft stuff live, so we'll do that next Thursday with you as we watch film.
All right, man. Y'all enjoy your weekend.
All right,
let's go.
Shaun King, clap it up. Loaded show. I didn't really take a break. I was just testing Smitty. I wanted to test Smitty. I didn't really need to go. I didn't even leave the desk. I sat right here the whole time. Bailey can show you.
I mean, listen, you can be gangsta all you want to. A show has commercials, and that's a regular thing in production. They don't make you harder or tougher or more thugged out because you sat down in a chair for a little bit longer. At the end of the day, we're doing a show, Jib. We're sitting down. We're not on the field. We ain't lifting no weights. You sat down for 3 hours.
I took a piss and got coffee.
You probably had a cookie from AE.
No more of that right now. I'm on a juicer again. I got to get back. I got to lose some weight. I gained back too much weight. I got to
get healthy. I didn't want to say nothing, but as your brother, man, you gotta lose some weight. You gotta slow down on your cigars a little bit. A little less liquor is starting to add up on. I'm seeing it in your face. You know what I mean? Your skin's been a little different. Get back to early years. Like last summer, you was in shape. You was lean. Skin looked good. All the hoes looking at you. You started to get a little too comfortable. So let's get back. I'm back in the gym as well. I was on the Stairmaster yesterday. Upright lift today. Right after the show, as soon as we end in 30 seconds. Lower body day. I'm doing squats, lunges, all that. So let's come on now. So get your summer body ready, JB. It's all love. It's all love. That's all it is.
Whoever took these pictures and captured them should get a Pulitzer prize. Go back to the beginning, Bailey, for us. We're going to show you something from the beginning to end the show that is literally the most comical thing. How do we go to 1? All right, this is how it starts. My bad. I didn't know how to do it. It starts like this. Ass crack out, 2 pit bulls sitting there. We go to number 2. All still shot, by the way. This broad in the whites got her by the hair. The dog's watching. Part 3, she got her down. Dog's now biting the kneecap of the other girl. Part 4, dog said, fuck it. I got to itch my teeth. I got fleas. Part 5. I mean, this shit, you can't make this up, by the way. Part 5, mug face. Part 6, she looked like, fuck, you fucking me up. Part 7, dog's like trying to suck his dick, his own dick. Part 8, now she got her bent over, pause. Part 9. Now dude's involved. Broad, just ratchet shit, hood rat shit. Part 10. Pops came out and told both of them catch a fair one, Smitty. He not gonna do nothing. He want to catch a fair. It's black people shit now, 1-on-1. He wants you to catch a fair one. OG Pops right there. Shout out to OG Pops. And the dog now is running towards some new dog pussy. Slide 11, she got her wrapped around the neck. She fucking her up. Slide 12. Now Callie looks like my dog has entered the chat. I don't know where she came from. Got out, I guess. Callie's the great dog she is. She's trying to be the mediator. Slide 13. Now Suplex is in the building. Now both dogs seem to be fighting. Slide 14. The dog now is getting pissed. The brown dog is starting to pull her pants down. That was it. Shout out, clap it up, Smitty, for the photographer.
Impressive. That was impressive, man. Like, you know, a picture can tell 1,000 words. In a world where we're all about video content,
Pictures, old school pictures, nothing like it.
Yeah, because you can't see everything, but it gives you enough of a storyline.
You got a picture of me and you, remember now? And it's like, I got that picture.
Never seen that picture.
Yeah, I got it.
That picture don't exist.
Shout out to everybody in the like. Pound the like. Go on over to Winnable right now. We'll have our free pick of the day plus our paid picks. Go to Winnable. Whoever's the first paying customer will get a free hoodie and hat today. Whoever the first paying customer is, we automatically will have your email and everything. Paid customer, weekly or monthly. Winnable is where it's at. We will be doing this with a bunch of professional bettors, cappers, and we will do no sweat bets. We will have parlays, money lines, points, spreads, everything from the UFL this weekend to the NBA and the Final Four. So pound the like, subscribe to our Winnables today, right now. Right now, go to Winnables and break bread and pound the like on the way out the door. We will see you Monday, not tomorrow, but we will have shows up all weekend and great clips from this whole week's past. Great guest. Shout out to my boy PP, Pat Perez, the Four Aces, and Matt McChesney, and Achille for giving us that inside heat, fire ass footage at the Live at the Trump Doral course in Miami. Shout out to everybody. Much love to everybody in there, even my haters. Love your haters. They are our biggest fans, Smitty. Remember that. Peace.
Issues get pressed so fast you don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown, kill the yeah, it's a rap. We